KINA Sports. Coming up, you're going to get a full preview of area games, analysis on this matchup, and keys to a Trojan win. Now let's head to the gym for Countdown to Tip-Off right here on KINA.
With one final game remaining here in the regular season, the Southeast of Saline basketball teams have re-entered their home gym as they get set to take on the Lyons and Lady Lions in one final doubleheader to reassert their dominance in the league and do their best to scratch out one last win before sub-state seedings go into effect this Saturday. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside the Equity Bank broadcast booth here on the L&L Advisors Countdown to Tip-Off show. I'm Tyler Henry, filling in for Devin Haney here tonight in what should be a pair of entertaining matchups. And we begin, as we always do, with the girls' game between Southeast of Saline and Lyons. SES comes into this contest 13-5 overall and 8-2 in conference play. And they're going to do their best here to try to get into a better position going into the playoffs because, remember, Southeast of Saline got put in a murderer's row as far as sub-state is concerned. Currently, of the 16-team bracket in sub-state for Southeast of Saline's ladies, there are 6, count them, 6 ranked teams in the state of Kansas in Class 3A. Right now, sitting atop that is Heston at 18-0, then Halstead at 17-1, Riley County at 14-4, Haven at 14-5, and Cheney at 13-5, and that means that despite being a 13-5 team, a squad that in a lot of the other brackets would be in the top 4 and have a chance to host 2 games, Southeast of Saline enters tonight in the 6th seed with the Minneapolis Lady Lions licking at their heels. Meanwhile, this is a Lions team that has struggled to refine their footing after facing some off-the-court adversity earlier this year. We'll get into that here in just a moment. The Lions, Lady Lions, come into this game. They are 2-16 overall, 0-8 in league play, still looking for their first win of the NCAA slate. We will step away, but when we come back, we'll break down this matchup and get you ready for this contest between Southeast of Saline's Lady Trojans and the Lady Lions of Lyons. That conversation and game preview is next. You are listening to the L&L Advisors Countdown to Tip-Off show. Coverage of this game is presented by our good friends at New Image Audio.
Are you looking for a local brokerage firm to help you with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach, right off Crawford, and in the Central Mall, Salina, and downtown McPherson. Based on honesty and trust, contact L&L Advisors today.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame.
Good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor is running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe and a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Hey Salina, come see us at the Kelly Kitchener Agency near the intersection of Cloud and Ohio. We want to be your Salina, Kansas insurance agent.
The Southeast of Saline School District has a long-standing reputation for excellence. This excellence in public education has been a source of great pride and one of the factors contributing to the quality of life in our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation works in partnership with the USD 306 School District and the community that it serves to maximize student potential, thereby creating a lasting legacy, not only for our children, but for our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation salutes the Trojan Sports Program.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
Well, welcome back inside the Purple Palace. Tyler Henry filling in here for Devin Haney tonight as Southeast of Saline gets ready to do battle with the Lyons Lady Lions. Went briefly through where these two teams sit coming into this contest. Again, for Southeast of Saline, they are 13-5 overall. They are 8-2 in conference play. League play, going to have to get used to that down here at the high school level. But one of the biggest things that Southeast of Saline has an opportunity to do here tonight is lock up at the very least a share of what would be a 5th consecutive league title. They can't win it outright because there is still a game left to be played with the Ellsworth Bearcats, a team that currently does have a win in hand over Southeast of Saline. So that can make tie-breaking scenarios a little bit interesting. But the fact remains that this is a Southeast of Saline program that historically has dominated the NCAA. They have done everything they have needed to do and more, and they have done it under the stewardship of head coach Shauna Smith, who after a couple of kind of interesting seasons to start things has had her teams dominate and has lost some big senior classes as well. I think that's another thing that Coach Smith doesn't get enough credit for. Year after year, groups of talented freshmen and sophomores stepping into the roles left by their seniors. Seniors we'll talk about here in just a minute have answered the bell, and this year has been no different. We welcome in the second member of our broadcast team, Tyler Smith. And boy, Tyler, a fun night here for some high school basketball. Obviously, the final day of the season where games will count as far as Keisha sub-state seedings go. There is a lot on the line here for Southeast of Salina. I talked a little bit earlier about just the murderer's row of a sub-state that they've gotten thrown into, and a lot to play for here on senior night as well. This should be fun.
Tyler, yeah, this is going to be an absolute blast tonight. I mean, it's there's three main things you want to look at. I mean, first of all, if you win tonight, and using our journalistic, we're only going to speak in truth here. We don't know if it's going to be a conference title or not, or a league title. There's bylaws that we don't know the rules of. It's a true round-robin league, but the problem is the team that you potentially are going to be tied with has the head-to-head, but you're not going to get to play them. Like that's the weird deal with that. So we will not call this a league title. We will say if you win this game, it'll be the 5th straight year that Southeast Saline has the most wins in the league or has a share of the most wins in the league. So that's a big thing to go for right there. Then it's all this, you're 100% talking about, your how you're going to seed yourself for sub-state. And it doesn't matter. I mean, there's so many games going on tonight. In this sub-state, completely loaded. I think the only thing you want to do tonight is just play your best basketball, because that's the only way that you're going to, continue on in the postseason. And then the third thing, these seniors. I mean, you want to get a win to celebrate these seniors. We're going to talk about these seniors a lot tonight, and hopefully we have a lot of time to do it. Hopefully Southeast takes care of business. We can do it. This senior class, Sarah Feldman, Addison Rohr, what they mean to this program. And the older I get, the worse I get at senior nights. Like I shed a tear every year. Will do with these two. They're just fantastic people, and what they brought to this program, what they mean to Southeast Saline, the community. I mean, not just the basketball team. We're just very fortunate that they play basketball, and we get to celebrate them. But, man, there's so much on the line tonight. Get a win. Get yourself good before you go into the postseason. And, again, this is what Southeast Saline basketball does. You play your best basketball as you're approaching warmer weather, as you're approaching March. It's going to be a fun night tonight.
Boy, we'd love to be approaching some warmer weather. Anything warmer than what we have right now. But let's take a minute and talk about these seniors, because I think the thing that kind of gets underlooked at sometimes, it's the values that they carry throughout this program. Because at the end of the day, these are not just good basketball players. These are excellent young ladies and young members of this community, have been for 4 years and longer than that. But again, it just seems like every single group of seniors exemplifies the same values within this Lady Trojan basketball system, and they pass that on to the next generation. We've seen it year after year after year. I know you're very close to this program and have had a chance to watch Sarah Feldman and Addison Rohr kind of grow up before your eyes here.
Tyler, I think you said it best right there, how they pass it on. I mean, when you talk about senior classes, they almost kind of – you start looking at them like your own children, and you can't have a favorite, but this might be one of the most valuable senior classes there's ever been. You talk about, the amount of success that there's been with other senior classes. We've had all-state. We've had groups that have been all-league, for multiple years. So what this senior class has done is they took a senior class last year that played a lot. They played a lot as freshmen, and 3 seniors left. There's a couple of freshmen that are starting right now, and there's a couple of all-league, all-state, caliber-type players. But this team doesn't gel unless you have seniors like Sarah Feldman and Addison Rohr making sure that happens. And these two, they epitomize what high school athletics are all about. They put in the work. They work harder than everybody else. They're on time. They do things. They do it the right way. They have gelled this team together. This team should not be where they are right now. I talk to Steve Reed, talk to Shauna Smith all the time. If you would have told them that they could be in this position at this point of the year, if you would have told them that this summer, they would have thought you were crazy. But a lot of that credit goes to these two seniors for that culture word. I think it's thrown around a lot, but they understand what the culture is, and they epitomize Trojan culture, regardless of the sport. It's the community, it's the school. Those two have done so much just to bridge this gap and to make sure that this program stays exactly where it is.
Well, and I think you said it best as well, right? You think about the players they pass it down to. These juniors and even most of the sophomores, I think, know what needs to be done. But you've got a pair of freshmen that have played meaningful minutes this year in Reese Heinrich and Kaya Samuelson that, boy, more often than not, do not look like your average freshman out there.
Right.
And you have to give a lot of credit to the senior class for finding a way to do that. And really quickly, I want to make one more point about this team, right? Because I think you said it best. They graduated a huge senior class from a year ago. A lot of talent once again. You come back in, you're starting a freshman, which is not something that these programs typically do. And you look at the way this year started, right? You get thrashed on opening night by Heston. You come back and beat an Abilene team that hadn't really won in a couple of years. You beat Beloit well, but then you get thrashed again by Hillsborough in a game where you scored 25 points. And you just kind of sit there and you think, okay, is this team going to be able to turn the corner and find a way? But then they rattle off that 7-game winning streak in the middle of the year. And again, the leadership of this team and getting these freshmen to settle down and start playing more like sophomores and maybe even juniors at times, I think has had a lot to do with the success that Southeast has had this year.
Yeah, tons of it. And I'll tell you what, that first loss against Heston December 6th, I mean, that was a shell-shocking moment. And you knew you were playing the number one team in the state. You knew it was going to come. On December 7th, at 8 o'clock in the morning, Addison Rohr and Sarah Feldman were at an MAYB game of my daughters at 8 o'clock in the morning. They were super disappointed with the loss, but they were at that game because they know what it means for the culture. And, it's stuff like that you just keep adding on, and you see these young adults grow, and it's what they mean for the community. And I think that's what makes these senior nights more and more difficult, is because I see the relationships they make, with my children and with all the children. I mean, I'm probably not a great job reference, but I know both these women are going into the medical field. They're both going to go to Fort Hays next year. They are just perfect examples of just great leaders. They do everything how they're supposed to do it. They work their tails off. They care about the community. They care about everybody. And they have worked so hard to create the success that they have. And I think that's the greatest thing about being an old man like I am now, is to get to see them, flourish and see them kind of go on.
Culture is kind of a unique thing, right? It's easier, in my opinion, to keep it going, at the professional level or even the college level, right? You can recruit the kids that you feel 100%. Like fit your system. When you're playing high school sports, the simple reality is you get the kids that are in your school district or maybe near your school district. You don't have a lot of choice in the matter. But we've seen, again, like you said, the values of this program have not changed. And I think you have to give a lot of credit to the kids, not even just the seniors, for being willing to take that on and kind of challenge themselves to step up and do what they've done. Like you said, it's been a lot of fun to see them grow as players, but more so as people over these last couple of years.
Yeah, and we're right now in a place in society where it's just easy just not to go out if you're not liking things. I'm not going to play my senior year because I don't like the way things are going. Addison Rohr has started from her sophomore year as a 5'6", 5'7" post player, just dealing with absolute animals. She does her job. Would she be better on the perimeter? Potentially, but she just does what she needs to do. Sarah Feldman would start for every single school in this league. But she doesn't complain. I mean, there were two freshmen that came up that are very good guards. She's lost playing time her senior year to two great freshman guards, but she just does everything right. She's the first person off the bench. She does it. She knows where she's supposed to be defensively. She's hit big-time shots this year. It's great to see when people work, they're rewarded for their work. And that's going to be the funnest thing tonight. I see Sarah Feldman with the shooting shirt off.
Senior night, southeast of Saline, taking on Lyons. Again, they come in 2-16, 0-8. We'll talk more about some of the adversity that they face moving forward. But this is a team that has had their fair share of struggles. Turnovers obviously have played a role with that. Overall, though, when you think about your new image audio keys to the game, what do you feel like Southeast has to do to play their best basketball in the last game of the year going into Sub-State?
Tyler, it's all about just suffocating them defensively. It's all about defense is going to lead to easy opportunities, and that's when you see Southeast play their best basketball. It's when defense just creates easy opportunities. There's so many players that can play well in transition. Kaya Samuelson has been so good just with the ball out in the open. She can go do things. If things break down, you got Abigail Pearson that can do things. I mean, she's the Swiss Army knife. She can kill you in so many different ways. And then we've seen Douglas, we've seen Roar, we've seen them beat people down low. But now it's about getting fresh legs, about getting those girls ready to play for the postseason, understanding, now it's go time. And this is a team, and we've seen teams with similar styles built like this from Southeast make deep, deep postseason runs. And it starts tonight. The goal is to be in Halstead and either have Halstead, Heston, one of those top seeds.
Boy, take your pick,
that's
right?
That's the goal, yeah. And it doesn't matter how you get there. It doesn't matter how it draws. That's where you want to be.
Absolutely. We will step away for the national anthem, but when we come back, it's starting lineups. You're listening to Southeast of Saline Girls Basketball. It's right here on KINA.
I'm Brian Arms, your mortgage loan originator at Equity Bank here in Salina, Kansas. I'm a lifelong Salina resident here to tell you our bank can offer you mortgage and refinance options with terms designed for you. Why leave our community when you can choose the bank that never forgets it's your money? With 2 locations in town on Ohio Street and Santa Fe Avenue, there's no better time to apply online, in person, or over the phone. Learn more at equitybank.com, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The Trojans are experts in precision passes, and Everhart Precision Ag are your experts in grid soil sampling. Everhart Precision Ag does all the sampling and data analysis in-house, keeping it local and close to the farm. They're also your local channel seedsman, selling all seeds with an emphasis in corn and soybeans. Trust Matt Everhart and Lane Hensley at Everhart Precision Ag, serving Saline, Dickinson, McPherson, and Ottawa counties, and also supporting Southeast of Saline Trojans. For more information, visit everhartprecision.com.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
At Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, we are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andrew Westbrook, and I am the sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic. I see patients of all ages and help them come back stronger than ever. From broken bones to joint pain, my team and I are committed to help you do more. For those with sports injuries, come see us at our sports medicine walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. Prevent, recover, and strengthen so you can perform your best. Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Make your move with confidence.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
And with that, we are back here inside the Equity Bank broadcast booth. And before we run through starting lineups, I want to remind you that tonight's special senior night games are presented by New Image Audio. If you don't have a remote start warming up your car after the game, you need to see New Image Audio. Remote start is and can be controlled with an app on your cell phone. New Image Audio, always backing the Southeast of Saline Trojans. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups presented by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. And we begin, as we always do, with the visitors tonight. That is the Lyons Lady Lions. They come in 2-16 overall. They are 0-8 in league play. And they will put on the floor a senior in Maya Fierro, a senior in Jocelyn Vargas, a junior in Diana Gonzalez, and rounding out the starting 5, it's a junior in Sierra Belote and a senior in Peyton Cruz. Meanwhile, for Southeast of Saline, a well-deserved addition to the starting 5. Let's go ahead and meet him for Southeast. It will begin with 5'7" freshman Kaya Samuelson, averaging 11 points and 3 rebounds a game, leading the team, averaging 2 assists per contest. The new face to the starting 5 is 5'4" senior Sarah Feldman, averaging 1.5 points a game, Also in the starting lineup is her fellow senior counterpart in 5'7" senior Addison Rohr, averaging 2 points and 5 boards a game. And rounding out the starting five, it's a 5'7" junior in Sutton Douglas, averaging 5 points and 4 rebounds a game. And 5'7" junior Abba Pearson, averaging 12.5 points a game, leading the team this year in her junior season. Southeast of Salina, as always, is under the direction of head coach Shauna Smith, assisted by Steve Reedy and Kylie Holmes. Meanwhile, for the Lady Lions of Lyons, it's head coach Cody Bowers, assisted by Carl Nolan and Bailey Francis. And Tyler Smith, again, this should be a fun game, but for Southeast of Saline, it's one you're favored heavily. It's senior night, you're on your home floor, and it's a meaningful game for sub-state standings. At a certain point, you just got to relax and have some fun out there tonight, right?
100%. You just got to play the game. You got to get out and you got to do your work defensively. You got to make sure you're getting your offensive sets, making sure things are crisp. These are sometimes the toughest games to coach and to play in because you're supposed to win. You're supposed to win big. Nothing matters other than just scoring one more point than Lions tonight. But you've got to go out and you've got to get your work done. And it's a nice way to end the season if you get your work done tonight.
Kaya Samuelson in the jump circle. Opposite her is Peyton Cruz, and Lions will take the opening tip. They will work from left to right as we view it up here in the Crow's Nest. Meanwhile, a quick reminder, Lyons comes out tonight rocking the all-blue jerseys. White numerals trimmed in black. Meanwhile, for Southeast of Saline, they are in their all-white home jerseys. Purple numerals also trimmed in black. And, boy, there you go. First possession of the game for Lyons, and it leads to their first turnover. A good steal for Southeast of Saline as the Lady Trojans look to get back down the floor and work some offense.
Yeah, just a great steal. Rohr just jumps the pass right there, and that's something she's done all season. You see right there, nice steal immediately on their side of Belote.
Quick steal, as you mentioned, brings it back the other way here for Lyons. Still scoreless in the opening minute of this game. Southeast of Saline looking to settle in here as they will dribble this out. JoJo Vargas takes it right, then left, but...
Fantastic.
Yeah, they're going to call that a 5-second closely guarded call, and that's that kind of stingy Southeast defense that's given opponents problems for, the last half decade here?
Yeah, there you go. You're exactly right. And that's a freshman, Kaya Samuelson, just guarding the ball, and there was never any screaming or yelling from Lions. They just kind of fell into it right there. Just good defense. Nice pass right there.
Great feed.
Suitable that Rohr gets the first bucket.
Addison Rohr scores the bucket, and there you see Southeast of Saline capitalizing on the full court press, now forcing the issue with a little full court pressure of their own. And not a terrible surprise. Lyons has struggled at times with ball security this year. Southeast looking to capitalize up 2-0 here, and yeah, they'll continue to press the length of the floor.
And that's the thing. No matter who you put on the basketball floor right now for Shauna Smith and these Trojans, everyone out athleticizes anybody from Lyons.
First shot for Lyons, taken no good, but it's going to lead to an offensive board and a putback. Unfortunately for Southeast of Saline, they're going to get caught with a foot on the line. I talked in the pregame a little bit, Tyler Smith, about the adversity that this Lions team has faced, and obviously never easy to come back from something like a bus crash midway through the year. They missed a couple of games, had to settle back down. That would be hard enough for any group of people to deal with, much less a group of kids, but they've been really resilient just mentally to continue playing throughout the year.
Oh, they have been. And the numbers, we talked about this, the first time we played at Lyons, their numbers are growing, and that's how you build programs. You get more student athletes out, you get more players playing basketball, and for them to go through that and still stick together, that's going to be one of those things. A Lions team could get together, they could have some success later on down the road, and that's going to be something they look back on, maybe like that's the turning point. That's when we all got together, and that's when we got really good at this.
Trying to lay the brickwork of that future right now, trying to lay the brickwork of a potential upset win on the road. I like this, though, being patient with the ball. Obviously, there's no shot clock in high school basketball, at least not at this level. And, boy, it's going to lead to a really good open look and a basket on the run for Diana Gonzalez.
Yeah, Gonzalez just got the ball at the wing, and Shed Feldman kind of in the back. Her back hip, just a nice move from Gonzalez going all the way to the rack.
Ball deflected away here from Kaya Samuelson. Boy, she's going to be tied up, and the arrow will keep it with Southeast of Saline. But this is the kind of intensity I'm talking about. It would be easy for a 2-16 team going into this game to just kind of hang their heads and kind of concede early, but that has not been the case here.
Yeah, Samuelson not happy with herself. She dribbled into that double team right there. That's a term you can't make. You can't make against anybody, especially early on in the game. You can't dribble in that double team. Keep the ball away from that and make sure you know where you're going with it.
Sarah Feldman and Sutton Douglas will have a seat. Reese Heinrich and Reagan Duran into the game. Good movement here for Southeast. They get it underneath, but the shot a little too strong for Addison Rohr. And a chance now for Lyons to take the lead about 3 minutes into this game. Lady Lyons, again, patient offensively, but you have to be against the Southeast defense, right?
Yeah, you definitely have to. As you see, they're moving so well. Just a straight-up man-to-man defense. There's no big post presence from Lyons, and that's when we've seen – actually, we've kind of seen Southeast at their best when they have to deal with that post presence. They're good on the backside. Without a post presence, just everybody, it looks like a – they're trying to create that down low with Belote, down low with Pearson. Bad matchup. Pearson can play you anywhere on the court. But yeah, without a post presence, you got to make sure you're wide out everywhere. Nice finish.
Yeah, great pass off the inbound. Maya Fierro is able to lay it in. And it's a 4-2 lead here for the Lady Lions, who just a moment ago checked out. Sierra Belote, Kiera Davis, and Kathleen Elliott are both in, and we've got our second jump ball of the game. That arrow will turn things back over here. Boy, it's also getting interesting this time of year. You look around at the standings and some of the other teams that are in action, and just a ton of weather rescheduled games that everyone's trying to cram in here before that Acacia deadline.
Yeah, and you see right there, Samuelson again just using the athleticism for this to create the loose ball opportunity, get the steal, roar with an offensive rebound. She's going to the free throw line for 2.
Yep, good call there as they get the turnover, and then Southeast of Saline able to get a look that they wanted. Samuelson, I like that. Quick to the basket, I think understanding that's not a bad shot to take from the baseline.
No, not at all. And Roar gets a lot of shots there, and she draws a lot of contact. And a lot of times her success is dependent on if those calls are going to be made. As the undersized post, if she hits the first free throw, sometimes they're not called. She just kind of gets bumped around. They don't see it, but Roar's doing a good job right now on senior night.
First free throw good. Second free throw off the mark. Rebound is taken in here underneath the basket by Sierra Belote. Had a chance to check out momentarily, right back into the game. 4-3 is the lead here for Lyons. It's been a very low-scoring start. And Southeast of Saline, they had a trap right there at midcourt. They're going to steal it away. And here come the Lady Trojans. SES quickly down the floor, although, was that deflected out? No, that's just lost. Kaya Samuelson commits the turnover, and Southeast coughs it up for the second time tonight.
Yeah, kind of another unforced turnover from Samuelson, just driving to the left side, ball bounces off her foot. That's something she's got to get more secure with right there.
Again, for a freshman who's seen so much time for this team, handling the point here down the stretch, as Lyons will throw this in. They want to try to work across midcourt, and Kaya Samuelson right there tight on defense on the other end. Lyons working this around. Kiera Davis gets some separation, but yeah, she did not get it cleanly, which, boy, shame for her because she drilled the three, but yeah, you can't exactly shove somebody off you like that. It's a clear and easy foul.
And that's one thing Duran does so well. She plays defense so well with her feet and her body. Her hands were out. She never created any contact with her body, with her hands. Got that push off from Davis. It's a great job from Duran.
Southeast of Saline working through their half-court offense, looking for a clean look in the half-court for what would be the first time here tonight. And they're going to turn it over again. That ball through the hands of Samuelson, who I think was maybe fearing it might have been deflected there, but the deflection never came, and Southeast throws it away.
And you see Samuelson coming out now, Feldman, the senior, going back. And this is kind of now back to the normal rotation. Just a few uncharacteristic turnovers from Samuelson. Just get her on the bench, just settle her down a little bit. She'll come in, she'll do some damage later on.
Fellow freshman Reese Heinrich is into the game now as Lyons able to break the full court press, but they're going to turn it over again. And Southeast of Saline now with a chance to run the break. It's a one-on-one right to the cup and in. Good bucket there for Reagan Duran, and Southeast leads 5-4.
And Tyler, I love to see that finish right there. You're not looking for any help. You're just all gas, no breaks, just taking the ball to the rack. A lot of contact there, no foul, but it's a great finish from Duran.
Well, and understanding the situation in the game as well, that again, at this point in the game, you need a bucket. No sense in trying to stop and pump the brakes. The half court has not been a strength of Southeast here in this game so far. You got to credit Lyons' defense. Speaking of which, we got bodies on the deck fighting for the basketball, and they're going to call a travel against Lyons. Hopefully everyone's okay there, as getting up and holding her head a little bit was Diana Gonzalez.
Well, yeah, it was Gonzalez and Belote. They were going after the basketball. Just great hustle from every player, but it was two Lyons players going after the loose ball. Southeast players were around it. Unfortunate travel call right there on Lyons.
I made the comment pregame that you don't get to pick the kids that are in your district, but boy, it just seems like this Gypsum district is full of kids that are a little undersized, but they're quick, they're stingy, and they like playing good defense. Classic Shauna Smith basketball players, although Southeast turns it over again. 4 turnovers for SES in the first 4 minutes of this game. Lyons almost obliges them on the other end. They've already turned it over 5 times. Here is a three-pointer. That's off the mark, and the rebound hauled in by Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, really, really ugly game right now. You're not happy with this if you're either coach. You see Duran, nice move, but about 4 steps to get to that shot. Tried to go with a little Euro, but she got the steps in earlier before she got the steps in late. Great call from the officials. Basket goes, doesn't count. Now it's time to set up that press again. They're going to call it off. They're going to pull it off. Yeah, it looks like just going to go maybe a little 1-3-1 trap from the half court.
Tried to go with the Euro step and ended up in West Asia.
Yeah, a little double Euro.
5-4, Southeast still in the lead, but right now both teams have more turnovers than points scored in the opening 5 minutes of this contest. 2:33 left to go, first quarter. Lions back on the basketball. Again, they've been good about staying patient, but, well, add another turnover to the tally. That's 7 now. Southeast looking to cash in transition, and they will. Kaya Samuelson puts the biscuit in the basket for 2 more.
And that's where Samuelson can beat you. She's just more athletic than anybody else on the court right now. She just extends, she goes. Great pass from Pearson.
We got a full timeout on the floor called by Lyons. We will take it as well. Southeast's Lady Trojans up 7-4 right here on KINA.
Visit Suburban Appliance Center in Salina to see the Whirlpool washer with 2 ways to wash, thanks to the 2-in-1 removable agitator. With a flexible capacity, you can take the agitator out for bulky loads or keep it in for items like jeans. Shop now at Suburban Appliance Center and get twice the washer you have at home. Suburban Appliance Center in Salina, located at 1900 South 9th Street, or check them out at suburbanappliancecenter.com.
Winter travel can be treacherous if your tires are worn out. Stay safe with an inspection at Commercial Tire Company. Cold weather also drops the inflation in your tires. Get them checked today to avoid losing grip or damaging your tires. Commercial Tire will help keep you safe. For repairs that aren't tire-related, our automotive and diesel mechanics will fix it right the first time. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th, Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
This is Trojan Basketball on KINA.
Welcome back inside the Equity Bank broadcast booth here on the campus of Southeast of Saline High School. Coverage of tonight's senior night games is presented by New Image Audio. 7-4 is the Southeast of Saline lead, but Tyler Smith, it's been an odd game to say the least. We have had 12 turnovers, and in this game, we have had 11 points between these two teams. And boy, Lyons almost adds another to the turnover column.
Well, I think the unforced turnovers are what's going to upset you the most if you're Southeast right now. Just Lyons isn't doing a lot defensively. You see Abigail Pearson doing a good job just sealing off that baseline, creating a turnover from Lyons. But you got to secure the basketball. Shots might not go in, but you cannot just turn the ball over. And that's one thing, once you get, the handle on, you understand the defense a little bit more, you got to take more control of the basketball.
I think the concerning thing to me early in this game, Southeast of Saline has not made a single shot that they've generated in the half court. All of their points have come at the free throw line or in transition so far.
And Tyler, that's been the weakness of Southeast this season so far. It's just been once a team gets set in the half court, you see right there, Duran called for shuffling the feet, just kind of moved a little bit too quickly. But you got to look for that, and I think that's relying more on that post presence. That post presence was there early on in the season. Douglas and Rohr were doing a great job. Douglas had big games, but after the second half of the season, just kind of that's been lacking a little bit. So you need that to get going as you enter this postseason run.
Here's a corner 3 for Lyons. That's off the mark, no good, but it's so off the mark that it leads to another 3-point attempt. That one won't fall. Rebounded here by Southeast of Saline. Lady Trojans back up the floor. Reagan Duran took some contact. There's a whistle and a foul. That'll be the 3rd foul against the Lady Lions. Just never stops being a bit of a mouthful, the Lady Lions.
Doesn't. But by the way, the best Lions logo I've ever seen.
Yes.
Their
Lions
it's
logo
so clean.
is
Fierce. It is nice.
And a huge upgrade from what they had previously.
Yes.
If you'll remember, as this ball is poked away, it will stay with Southeast of Saline. You feel like maybe the passing just isn't as intentional maybe as what it needs to be right now? What are you seeing out there?
Right now it's just not clean. You got to extend. So, again, we talk about the lack of size offensively. You have the lack of size defensively for them. So, yeah, you got to extend them and then get bodies down low. You see Sutton Douglas right there. Try to get in the lane, but it's just a great defensive play from Fierro.
7 turnovers against Southeast of Saline to 7 points, and we have 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Been a really slow start for an otherwise excellent Lady Trojan team this season, although Lyons obliging them on the other end. That's their 10th turnover of the game. We're still in the first quarter. And Southeast now called for a palming call, and it just continues on both ends.
Yeah, and you can see no complaints from the Southeast bench right there. It looked like maybe Seamlesson right there just kind of got the ball underneath a little bit with the hesitation, got called for the carry or the palming, whichever way you want to call that violation.
Sometimes you'll see as we get a long two-pointer. That's off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Southeast of Saline off the JoJo Vargas miss, although Southeast almost coughs it up on the other end. They got to be careful not to get caught with a 10-second call here. And they will get it across, now working along the baseline. Shot way too strong, put back no good, but a whistle and a foul, and Sutton Douglas will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. I was going to go back and make this point, though, Tyler. It seems like, sometimes, look, there are officials that will call everything a travel, everything's a carry, but, these are what they are, right? I don't think I've disagreed with any of these calls. It's just been sloppy.
No, I agree with you 100%. As that first free throw is missed by Douglas. This is a time when Pearson gets back in the basketball game. Abigail Pearson's got to just take control. This is times that we've seen Southeast a little bit out of whack. Abigail Pearson comes in, kind of slows things down as the second free throw goes. But that's what you need. You just need good after good after good. Everything's contagious. Your energy, your negativity, your positivity. Let's see if Southeast can keep that going.
If nothing else, though, you got to give credit to the Lady Trojans. Their defensive effort has not dropped. They've allowed just the 4 points here in this contest, and we've only got 6 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Lyons desperately looking for a bucket here to try to cut it down before the end of the break. They will drive inside, but not able to get the shot off in time, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. A reminder that tonight's senior night games are presented by New Image Audio. If you don't have a remote start warming up your car after the game, you need to see New Image Audio, a proud sponsor of today's game. We'll step away second quarter when we return. Southeast up 8-4 on KINA.
Suit up for your next Southeast of Saline game day with Trojan gear from CopyCo. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, and more available off the rack or customized. At CopyCo, they offer all the printing and custom apparel you need at the prices and fast turnaround you've come to expect over the last 30 years as your local hometown print shop. Whether you're a die-hard Trojan fan, a coach planning the next big event, or a business looking to sponsor the team, they've got everything you need to show your Southeast of Saline spirit. CopyCo, more than just a copy center, a proud sponsor of Southeast of Saline.
Mary Maids in Salina offers house cleaning services you can see and feel. Your home is more than just a house. It's where memories are made and moments are cherished. Though life can be complicated, house cleaning shouldn't be. Mary Maids strives to take the stress out of your day so you can live your life your way. With more than 40 years experience and an advanced time-tested cleaning process, they can help you reclaim time with your loved ones. Find Mary Maids on Facebook or check out their website at marymaids.com.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Basketball on KINA.
Welcome back inside the Equity Bank broadcast booth. Coverage of tonight's game, again, presented by our friends at New Image Audio. 8-4 our score early on. Tyler Henry, Tyler Smith. And, boy, it's been, I can't really say it any other way. It's just been a weird game of basketball. We've had 18 turnovers and 12 points between these two sides so far. Southeast of Saline looking to settle in here in the half court. They get it poked away, but pick it back up here on the outside. Working through offense with Abigail Pearson. Pearson wants to get downhill, fires this into the corner. They will swing it around, jump step to the inside, pull up jumper, left it short. Southeast able to get it back, but they rush the putback. Now there's a fight on the floor, and Lyons comes away with it.
Yeah, good offensive rebound from Roar, but you're exactly right. She just rushed it. That's where you want to see her settle her feet and just go up strong. She goes up a little bit weak. Doesn't get the finish.
Lyons fires another three. One shot and out here for the Lions, Lady Lions. Southeast trying to feed the ball down low, and they're fortunate that that was touched by a Lady Lion to avoid what would have been another turnover. And I mean, do you feel like Southeast has a play or maybe a player in a spot where you feel like you can just kind of generate a bucket to get yourself going?
Well, right now they're working too fast. You know, you want to be quick. You don't want to be fast. You see right there, Samuelson gets herself 5 feet away. Nice finish from Samuelson. But everything just sped up. Just slow things down. Be quick but not fast. There's a difference in the two.
Southeast trying to bring it under control. They take a 10-4 lead with that basket. And 6:51 left to play, and a ball that, boy, a slow rolling pass, almost like something out of a Looney Tunes episode, and it just kind of rolls slowly but surely out of bounds.
It does, and as long as that defense continues, and we saw this when we were at Lyons as well. Like, the offense wasn't great. Nothing looked, you're not going to hang this any game in the Naismith Hall of Fame, but you can continue to play defense. Good things will happen.
Quick trigger three-pointer, no good there for Reese Heinrich. Southeast, though, will inbound this along the baseline. So Southeast ready to throw this back in, but again, still no half-court set points for SES so far. It's also one of those things, right? You don't want this to be, if this continues, even if you win, you don't want this to be the taste that's in your mouth when you go to Sub-State for the first round.
No, not at all. And it's still a 10-4 lead. Like, I think it's sometimes, we get too excited about, early performances, early on in the game. Just get settled in, see how things are going to work. We'll relax a little bit. But you're exactly right. You got to start getting some half-court offense flowing. SES
still working through that here. They want to jump to the inside. But another jump ball will give it to Lyons here. And like I said, the fight that Lyons has shown in this game has been the thing that's maybe impressed me the most.
Yeah, greatest Showalter. Really good job right there to rip the ball, to tie the basketball up with Abigail Pearson. Abigail Pearson's as strong as they come. Just a great job from Showalter. Pearson didn't like it at all, though.
Yep, Pearson jumps the route like a cornerback. She wants to bring it back the other way. A Euro step in the lane and a right-handed finish to put the Lady Trojans up 12-4.
And Tyler, that's Abigail Pearson's first shot. I mean, that's Southeast's leading score. Somehow Lyons kept her from taking a shot in the first quarter. Just get her going. Let's see what happens.
Here it's an and one, though. On the other end is a foul called on Addison Rohr. That'll be her first. Remember, the last time these two got together, it was a long time ago, to be fair. It was all the way back on January 14th. Southeast of Saline won that game 44-19 at Lyons. As the and one free throw goes here for Sierra Belote.
Yeah, Belote, great catch right there. Great finish. See the ball squirts away from Heinrich. Now you got to worry about the 10-second count.
Southeast still trying to break this full court press. Now we'll see if they can find a way to cash it in for points on the other end as they rush to the rim. Right-handed shot too strong. Rebound, put back, also no good. And it comes down to Belote, who wants to bring it the other way for the Lady Lions. Nothing doing that time, and another turnover. They'll say Belote touched that last. That's the 11th turnover of the game on the Lady Lions.
Yeah, and I've got 5 rebounds for Rohr. 3 of them offensively. Rohr's got to finish that right there. Again, just collect yourself. Don't go up too quickly. Just make sure you have your body under control.
Good pass down low. Shot on the way again. No good. Southeast struggling to find some composure right around the rim. It feels like right now against this press, they're getting the looks they want.
100%.
Just not able to get anything in the hole. See if Southeast of Saline can maybe go back to the locker room and find a crowbar to pry the lid off this rim. Although it helps when your opponent has 12 turnovers in the first 9 minutes, and that is a fact.
Yeah, and at some point, it seems like, and this is something Southeast does every once in a while, and again, it's early. You don't want to play down to your competition. You either got to you got to set the standard and play your standard no matter who you're playing against. And right now, it looks like Lyons doing a great job just mudding this game up a little bit, making it really difficult for Southeast.
SES, great movement. There's the look you want, and it goes this time for Sutton Douglas. That is her first made field goal of the game, and Southeast leads by a touchdown, 14-7, and it's turned over again by Lyons. SES trying to look up the floor. It's poked away in the backcourt. Boy, if they had looked fast enough, they probably had a free layup in transition, but now they'll look to settle in.
Yeah, you're starting to see the ball go to Abigail Pearson a little bit more offensively, and that's why you're starting to see this offense settle down a little bit more. You get the ball to her in the high post, you can do a lot of good things. See right there, ball goes down to Douglas. Douglas is fouled at that short corner. It's a good job just going up strong. I don't think she had a good angle at the bucket, but she knew that she had a lot of contact coming. That's a headsy move from the junior Douglas.
That's another hallmark of Southeast of Saline basketball, though, right? If the shots aren't falling, just get to the rim. Get to the free throw line, and you get them one way or another. Douglas has already got 2 made free throws in this game. Her 4th attempt is coming here, and it will brick off back iron, but right back to her, and she picks it up for the O board. Kicks this ball out, 3-pointer right wing, and it's good. Southeast of Saline's got their first made 3 of the game, and it comes courtesy of Abba Pearson, who's got 5 points in the second quarter.
And again, Pearson's just that calming soul. You know, you get the ball to her, you see another turnover right there. Gosh darn, that almost hit people in the front row.
It would have made the 5th row if the bleachers extend to the floor. And, yeah, that's going to prompt the timeout to be called here by Lyons. They want to take a moment and talk it over. And while we've got a quick break in the action, all farmers, ranchers, and their spouses attending tonight's game had their entry fee paid as part of National FFA Week, presented by the SES Blue and Gold Backers and Saline County Farm Bureau. the voice of agriculture. Speaking of agriculture, southeast of Saline doing a good job growing this lead here in the second quarter. They're up 18-7, but they've been getting it down low. I mean, that's really, I think, what has worked for them, finding looks around the rim and getting to the line.
They have, and we've seen this zone just continues to extend because they know that Southeast will shoot the three-point shot. Now start banging it down low, and that's one thing that I do appreciate seeing right now with an 18-7 lead. You haven't fallen in love with the three-point shot. I think a lot of times when you're playing the zone, you're playing a team that you should come out and just handle, you'll fall in love with that three-point shot. Southeast is not done that. They're trying to establish something. They're trying to do something right now against this zone defense from Lyons. You see another turnover.
Well, that's kind of the thing, right? I mean, you feel like southeast of Saline laid the seeds for what they wanted to do in the second quarter.
Keep going, FFA.
And if you ask them how they played in the first quarter, I think they would also tell you there's probably some fertilizer out there from the looks that they were taking. So SES here, they still lead 18-7. Again, 4 minutes left to go. Lyons has got the ball. Here's a quick trigger three, and there's your answer on the other end. As Lyons gets it going, that is Peyton Cruz knocking down the triple.
Yeah, great shot from Cruz. Got that ball in rhythm, just went straight up with it. Nice finish from
Southeast Cruz. Looking to answer with a three of their own, and they bury it. Kaya Samuelson drills the tray.
And now we're starting to get in the flow, right? We saw Lyons want to make this game ugly early, and they did a great job. Just get back in the flow. Go shot for shot. Go bang for bang. We'll see what happens.
Lyons working the ball here with JoJo Vargas. Her three-pointer clanks off back iron, no good. Rebounded by southeast of Saline. SES up 21-10, 3:20 to go here in the opening half. Still working our way through second quarter action. Samuelson swings the ball around here onto the right wing. SES back to her top of the key. Still working through half-court offense. Again, being a little more patient than what they were back in that first quarter. Still 10 turnovers for SES, but the points starting to come, and it looks like that as they dump it down low. Abba Pearson to Sutton Douglas to the cup.
Abigail Pearson is an extension of a coach out there right there. She knows she's working that elbow area. She's working that lane line. Let's see Reese Heinrich. Great theft.
Heinrich puts a hand in the cookie jar and pulls out 2 points. And it's a rout here for Southeast, 25-10, an avalanche of points here in the second half.
Yeah, and it started happening when Abigail Pearson started touching the ball more on offense. I mean, the good things lead to goods. We talk about the contagious. There's a rebound right there from Pearson. Let's watch this go.
Long two, knocked away. Southeast pulls it down. They want to run the floor with Abba Pearson. Pearson lost it, though, and the turnover will lead to a run out here for Lyons. Lady Lions down 25-10. They swing the ball back around onto the left wing, almost taken away there by Heinrich. And that's out of bounds. Boy, they threw it to JoJo Vargas, but her foot on the sideline right in front of the southeast of Saline student section. I don't know what the theme is for the southeast student section as Sarah Feldman returns to the floor here for SES alongside Taryn Getz.
Yeah, freshman Taryn Getz getting her first action as well. We've talked about her all season. Just continues to get more and more minutes, more and more confidence in this offense. Right now, you're running Ab at that high post. It looks like Gannon Jacobson just delivering passes left and right to wide open receivers.
Here is Getz. Her first shot along the baseline. Too strong and a roll out of bounds. I don't know that there is a theme for the Southeast student section, but a pair of guys down there with some headsets on.
No, we might have a little
competition.
It does look like it. They're dressed far better than we are.
They dress for the occasion. 25-10. And Lyons, fortunate there not to commit another turnover. They will take another three. It's short, but it's rebounded underneath. We've got a whistle and a foul call that'll be on the floor. We'll see who they tag this against. Tyler, you just feel like as that foul is called, it'll go against Taryn Getz. The pace that Southeast was playing at defensively feels like something they can sustain for 4 quarters.
Without a doubt.
But the pace that Lyons was playing at it didn't feel like they were going to be able to do that for 40 minutes.
No, you felt like
or 36.
Yeah. You felt like at some point it was all just going to kind of even out, and the cream was going to rise to the top, and that's what we're seeing right now. Just continue. Again, defense will lead to offensive opportunities. You got to stick with it, trust the process. That's exactly what we've seen Southeast do after that, what we would call a poor first quarter.
Touch pass intercepted and taken away. 12th turnover here against Southeast, and boy, again, if they clean up the turnovers, this is probably more out of hand than it is right now. Amazing to think, despite the numbers, that they lead by 15. Southeast now has a trap in the corner on Belote. She will save this out to a teammate. Top of the key, three-pointer flies. That's short, but it comes back down to JoJo Vargas. Lyons takes a contested three-pointer, and it goes down anyway. That's the second made tray of the night for Peyton Cruz.
Yeah, Cruz, when she gets the body underneath and goes up strong, that's a nice-looking shot from Cruz. Nice finish.
Final minute of the opening half. Southeast of Saline looking to build that lead. 25-13 with 35 seconds to go. High post touch here. Comes back down to Abba Pearson. They will swing this ball back into the short corner. Now back to Pearson, who wants to attack the cup. Her shot a little too strong. And we got an offensive foul here, I believe. Yeah, they're going to call this against Addison Rohr. So a chance for Lyons if they want to take the last shot of the half.
Yeah, really tough call right there on Rohr. Rohr was just going after the basketball. I didn't think Lyons had great position, had inside position, but wasn't creating that position with a box out. Rohr's called for her second.
Rohr will take a seat trying to save that here, and we'll see if Lyons does, in fact, try to play for the last shot of the half. It's something you see. Well, actually, it's going to be a jump ball to give it back to Southeast. I am interested to get your thoughts because, I mean, you probably know more about this than I do, but boy, you just don't see teams try to take the last shot of a half at the high school level nearly as much as you do in college.
Well, you do depend on the team. You'll see Southeast do it right now. I can tell you exactly what play they're going to drop. Don't want to say it out loud, but you know what's coming. There's going to be a corner three opportunity. Well,
Final 3 seconds, right wing, contested three, nothing doing there, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. Southeast of Saline, despite 12 turnovers, they lead 25-13. We will step away, but the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime show is next. You're listening and watching Southeast of Saline girls basketball. Coverage of today's games are presented by New Image Audio.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
The Appliance Center. It's where you go to shop for washers, dryers, kitchen appliances, furniture, pellet grills, TVs, and so much more. If you are looking for a local, family-owned business, visit the Appliance Center. We're in the big red and white building on South Broadway in Salina. Come experience the Appliance Center difference.
During the winter months, we all rack up a lot of miles, especially following the SES basketball and wrestling teams. Isaacson Truckline is a proud supporter of the Southeast Trojans and wants to remind everyone to be safe on the roads this season. For local and long-haul service of freight and livestock, call Isaacson Truckline.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap. Shot at the horn! Stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Now, let's get back to the gym for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
Welcome back in here on the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report. Southeast of Saline's girls team up 25-13 over Lyons. We're joined now by Francis Flax to take a look here at the boys matchup. And boy, Coach Flax, it's been an exciting season for your guys. Before we get into this matchup and kind of the way things have gone down, how have you felt about kind of this last month of basketball that you've seen out of your guys here?
Well, we've been playing a lot better. Consistency is a problem. Rebounding had been a real issue, but we've been doing a lot better rebounding the basketball, so that's helped us in a few games. We've lost one or two that we hoped we would win, and so that's how this game goes.
Obviously, the important thing about basketball, you want to be playing your best ball at the end of the season. Growth is a big thing, too, though. Where have you seen your team, you think, grow the most from your first couple of games to your last couple of games?
Well, defensively, we're much better than we were. At the beginning of the season, truthfully, we couldn't defend hardly any teams. But we've gotten a lot better, a lot stronger. Our rotation is pretty solid. We have eight in our normal rotation. So they've got to learn each other, for the past 2 months.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, defensively we've gotten a lot better. We share the basketball, and our turnover count is way down, and that's encouraging.
Obviously, things changing up a little bit as far as Keisha is concerned. When you look at the way the brackets shake out now, 16 teams in each bracket. You guys currently sit at 9-9. Kind of a tough draw when you look at the other teams that are in there. But, how do you feel about kind of the new format that Keisha's gone to this year?
Well, I think it's probably an improvement. The one thing that you know, you want to play all your games, and us not playing last Tuesday night or not getting to play Monday night hurt us. Or, well, if we'd have won the game, it definitely would have hurt us. So, and there's a lot of teams bunched up there, you know, and we're just, we've got to have, I mean, if we have any hope of a home game, some teams have to get upset tonight, and that doesn't look very promising.
This is a Lyons team, obviously a team that has improved here. You look back to your first meeting, you were able to get the win over them 67-59. When you think back to that game, what were some things that you felt like were kind of clicking for you and for your guys?
Well, not much was clicking for 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter with 4 minutes and a few seconds to go, Lyons was still up by 8 points, and then we won by 8.
Yeah.
So that was very, very encouraging, and that kind of sparked us a little bit. You know, we played pretty decent basketball since then, and we never feel that we're out of a game.
Obviously, you got to learn how to win in a number of different ways, and I think you brought up a good point, right? You win a game like that, it gives you more confidence, especially for a group of guys that maybe didn't have as much playing time last year. What are some things, though, that Lyons, you know, can really kind of challenge you in on the floor when their game is working?
Well, they're kind of like us with consistency shooting. They've been in against Sacred Heart, against Beloit. They've come out and just shot the lights out from three-point land, and then they'll go dead for a while. So, but they have a solid team. I think the one thing that we have a little edge over Lyons is the fact that we'll play at least 8 guys, and they play 6. And I think that was a factor in our game at Lyons. I think finally we wore them down a little bit.
I think the other thing with this Lyons program, and you and I talked a little bit about this too, right? But they've had their struggles over the last couple of years. They've really kind of stepped it up this season. You feel like this is kind of a program that's being built as opposed to maybe just one good team with Lyons?
Yeah, I think so. But on that note, they do have 5 very good seniors on this ball club. And sometimes that's a really a good thing. I watched our JV beat them by, 4 or 5, 6 points, whatever it was. So they've got some good kids coming also, but so do we.
Speaking of which, you mentioned the seniors, 6 seniors on your roster who will be honored here in between the games tonight. And you know, again, I know that these are guys that have meant a lot, not just to the school, not just to this team, but to this program as well. Just tell me a little bit more about, you know, again, what these guys have meant to this program and to you.
Well, I broke them down yesterday in practice in front of everybody. I told them, I said, look, I know some of you haven't gotten hardly any playing time this year, but what you've done in practice has really been beneficial to our improvement, because they battle every day against what we consider our top 8, and like you said, they don't get much playing time. So, but I'm gonna start 5 of them tonight.
Well,
now how long they're gonna play, I told them that same thing yesterday. You might play a minute, you might play 3 minutes. It depends on what you do on both ends of the court.
How crucial has their leadership been? You talk about the effort that they give in practice, but again, when things maybe aren't going so well, even the ones that aren't in the game necessarily, just telling everybody, hey, calm down, we've been here before, everything's okay. Feels like leadership is always big with seniors too, right?
It is, and they've been very, very inspirational on the bench. As soon as there's a timeout, and you'll see it tonight, at a timeout, they'll be the first ones out there on the floor bringing the guys in, and that's what you expect.
Absolutely. Coach, one last thing for you before we let you go. Overall, what would you say are your biggest new image audio keys to the game to get a big win here and close out the regular season strong?
Well, we have to control Lyons. We have to control the tempo of the game for number one, and the second thing is we can't let them get away from us. We can't lose them on the defensive end. We've got to keep them in check the entire game.
Sounds good. Well, Coach, thank you so much for stopping by. Best of luck to your team tonight. Once again, that was Francis Flax, head coach of your Southeast of Saline boys basketball team. We'll step away for a 2-minute break, but when we come back, it's the third quarter of play between Southeast of Saline and Lyons on the girls' side. 25-13 our score right here on KINA.
Trojan fans, it takes fuel to win the day. When you're following our team to show that purple pride, fill your tank with gas and diesel as you're coming or going at our 24/7 pumps. And be sure to stop to get the energy you need with a hot cup of New England coffee or cocoa. Or grab a slice of your favorite Hunt Brothers pizza and snacks. Assyria Oil and Hardware is proud to support the Southeast of Saline community. Located at the corner of Center and Main in Assyria. We'll fill you up.
When it rains, it pours, so it's important for you to get coverage that meets your needs. The team at Kniper Agency with Farmers Insurance can help you understand your options so you can prepare for what the forecast brings. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Learn more by calling Stephanie, Morgan, or Tiffany at the Kniper Agency at 825-8419 to find out how they can help you protect the things that matter most to you.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
And the second free throw is good. The Trojans have called timeout to make some important decisions.
Hi, fans. It's Winnell Garrettson from Salina Homes. In every game, there are lots of options to make the right play. And in real estate, the plays can be challenging. Whether you're a first-time buyer, upsizing for the family, investing in rentals or commercial property, or selling land, I have the knowledge to help you win your real estate game. It's sure to be a slam dunk when I serve as your realtor. Buy or sell, call Winnell.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of two types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialist will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
Well, the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report is in the books. Always good to sit down and chat with Francis Flax. That conversation presented by Frisbee Construction. But now it's time for the second half of this girls' game. 25-13 is the score here at the break. I think turnovers, they had to be the biggest storyline of the first half, right, Tyler Smith, when you think about this? 14 for Lyons, 12 for Southeast, but I thought SES did a much better job at cashing those in, and, well, Lyons picks up right where they left off with a turnover on their first possession. Southeast looking to cash in here.
And now it's about making sure you don't turn the ball back over right there. Talk about plus and minuses. You know, right there you see alternating possession, ball's tied up, it stays with Southeast. You know, let's talk about like, the Frozen Four, the face-off four that just happened, whatever happened with the NHL.
The Four Nation.
The Four Nation.
Something,
we all became hockey fans, but we learned a lot about plus-minus, and that's all about turnovers and what you do when you're on the court and not on the court, as you see another unforced Southeast turnover.
And again, all of the turnovers, all of the calls, all of the whistles, I mean, they've all been exactly what they've been. There has not been any officiating issue in this game. It's just been Southeast of Saline struggling a little bit, and you know, maybe playing down to their competition, maybe, I don't know. You could look at a lot of different things in this game. They haven't been, you know, miserably bad, but I would say certainly if you asked every player on this team, they'd tell you they should be playing better.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think it's just that ball security. I mean, it's always the most important part. If you can secure the basketball, play good defense, the offense will come, but the offense won't come if you can't secure the basketball. As right there, Samuelson, actually they're going to call it on, not on Samuelson. I thought it was on Samuelson.
Yeah, they call it on Sutton Douglas. For Douglas, just her first. And Southeast here trying to force a tie-up. This is the player you don't want to leave open, but a missed three-pointer that time. Nothing doing there for Peyton Cruz. She's already hit 2 of those in this game, and they've both been big ones.
And you saw right there just a rebound, just a hustle rebound from Samuelson.
Here's another rushed shot for Southeast of Saline. I know you want to take the open looks when you get them, but take a second, catch, set your feet a little bit. Leads to a one-shot and out possession for SES, and Lyons coming back down the other way. Lady Lyons on the basketball. Yep, that's going to be a travel. Another turnover here for Lyons. Of course, there is one huge factor that, you know, I don't think we've really talked about, Tyler Smith, as far as Southeast of Saline struggles, and it seems like one of the most consistent things in this league. I'm here. Yes. That's been a problem for this program before.
Your record's not great being here. Not at all.
It's another miss for SES.
But we love having you.
25-13. Happy to be here. Always going to be back at the old stomping grounds here at Southeast of Saline High School. Lyons working on this. They've got it with their hot three-point shooter in Peyton Cruz. Again, she knocked down 2 big ones back in the first half, but it's a quick turnover. It's Southeast of Saline on the run, an uncontested layup. And there's the bucket for SES as Abba Pearson lays it in.
Yeah, Pearson with her quiet 7 points right now with that 2-point bucket right there. Just having good perimeter defense, catches the ball, goes to the other way.
Here's a pass the length of the floor. It's going to lead to a foul against SES and 2 free throws for Sierra Belote. They're going to get that on Sarah Feldman. It is just her first. That's been the other thing. Southeast has forced a lot of these turnovers. They really have not gotten anybody in foul trouble yet.
No, and a good foul right there from Feldman. The press just kind of broke down right there. She was the last resort. Creates a foul. First free throw goes in, but that's not a foul. You're minding right now if you're Coach Smith. The zone, the defense, the press didn't work. Commit that foul. Get yourself organized.
Forcing Belote to earn them at the line. She misses the second, made the first, and then commits a double dribble and another turnover here against the Lady Lions.
And I apologize. I called Belote earlier. I think it's Belote. I made it French. I don't think there's any French quarters in Lions.
We got a little too into that whole Four Nation thing, trying to bring in the whole world here. Here's a ball deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Southeast of Saline. The Lady Trojans still leading 27-14 with 5:45 to go here in the third quarter. Also haven't really had a chance to talk, at least you and I haven't, about the new sub-state brackets and the way that'll all shake out as Southeast turns it over again. But 4 16-team brackets. Higher seed hosts the first two rounds. Championship rounds for SES will be at Halstead. And, boy, you look at the draw, it could be good or bad depending on who you get paired with. For Southeast of Salina, tough break as another three-pointer won't go, and Southeast pulls down the board. Yeah, they didn't do him any favors in the bracket selection.
They didn't, and that's one of those things that you just have to deal with what you're dealt with. But if you do your job, you're going to get to play a game at home, and if you get a couple of those, you get to play two at home. So it's just doing your job right there. Another rebound from Roar as she goes up strong, and the foul's going to be called on Lyons.
Yep, right wing three went in and out, no good. They are going to say that was on the floor, though. I thought it might have been in the act of shooting, but it'll be a baseline inbound for Reese Heinrich.
But I do appreciate the way they're doing it.
Of course, it's been
going to go 1 through 16,
yep.
And just you play, and then all of a sudden we're all looking at March Madness brackets trying to figure out, okay, how does this math work? As you see another ill-advised turnover, unforced from Lyons. Just a nice pass from Samuelson, bounces off Pearson's leg.
Got a 30-second timeout called by Shauna Smith while we've got a break in the action. I want to remind you that tonight's special senior night games are presented by New Image Audio. If you don't have a remote start warming up your car after the game, first of all, it is so cold, I'm sorry. But if you want one, go see New Image Audio. Remote start is very inexpensive and can be controlled with an app on your cell phone. New Image Audio, always backing the Trojans. So 16-team brackets, I like it for a couple of reasons, Tyler Smith. First of all, you get a chance to host 2 rounds, or any rounds. I mean, that's something you earn throughout the course of the year. Now you get to play on your home floor. But the other thing, with it being on kind of a rotation, yeah, it's great to play all those games in one building. If it's a good building with a good court and good rims, right. Devin Haney and I can attest. We have gone to some places for Sub-State and we go, ooh, we're hosting here. Okay.
and you can always, flip this region any way you want. You can, cut it and chop it. Unfortunately, some of the best teams in the state of Kansas, or fortunately, are right where we live. I mean, you have a Heston, you have a Halstead, you have teams you have to go through. If you want to win a state championship, you got to go through them anyway. It's just great to be able to get through those teams early.
I think and I think the beautiful thing is, if you make it to state, you're going to be ready.
Yes.
I mean, whoever comes out of this bracket is going to be prepared to make a run at the state tournament. Southeast of Saline would love for that to be them. Their last trip to state came back in 2022. Lions still working through offense here. They will dump this ball off on the left wing, picked up here by Maya Fierro, and then we've got a whistle away from the ball. A foul is called. We're going the other way, though. It's an offensive foul. They're going to get a push on Kiera Davis.
And I saw both officials right there. They blew the whistle, and they both looked at each other. They both had the exact same foul called right there. And again, it was just Pearson on the ball. Great defense. She got pushed. It was going to be a back screen that got Davis with the foul, her 4th.
27-14. That's another thing we haven't really talked about. But, yeah, Davis, actually the only starter from the first meeting between these two who is not starting tonight, and picks up 4 really quick fouls. 27-14, Southeast looking to extend. Nothing doing on the three-pointer, but the rebound and the stick back is there. And there she is. Taryn Getz enters the scoring for Southeast of Saline.
And Tyler, it was that gather dribble that Getz had right there. She didn't go up right away. She knew she had ball security. We got a wedgie. There you go. But Getz just securing the basketball and going up strong. But now we're going to go to the alternate possession, and we're going to stay with Lyons.
Now, my question here is, how do you take care of a wedgie at the high school level? I know at the college, there you go. You get a – is that the head coach? That is. Oh, you love that. How about the vertical for Lyons head coach? That's Cody Bowers coming out and saving everybody some time.
And that's not a big guy.
No.
I think Shauna Smith was getting ready to go out there and do it. But, yeah, she got beat to it.
My goodness, that was impressive. I mean, first try, too, because that's the thing, too. You go out there and you miss, you look like an idiot. But, boy, good stuff there. Like you said, the alternate possession arrow will keep it here with the Lady Lions, 29-14, and a whistle and a foul, and maybe a frustration foul, if nothing else there, for Abba Pearson, who will collect her first.
Yeah, and Pearson's always going to be active, and she understands that if you're active on the perimeter right there, it's going to lead to easy buckets on the other side. We saw her have one of those earlier, so she's going to be super aggressive on that perimeter trying to steal passes.
So another inbound here for Lyons. Boy, it's been an adjustment for me tonight. I keep looking around to see how much time's left on the shot clock. There is no shot clock. Southeast back on defense here. Lyons able to take their time. They've got it with Peyton Cruz. Running to work it around on the perimeter, now into the high post, and another Southeast foul. All three of Southeast of Saline's fouls in this quarter have been on this possession.
Well, and you wonder right there, like you have to, and that's two freshmen guarding the basketball right there. You got to understand the offensive player's in trouble. You cannot bail them out right there. Just stay straight up. Just stay in your defensive position. Do not bail the Lions out right there.
Lions will throw this ball in at the top of the key. They almost lose it. Picked back up, though, by Kathleen Elliott. Right now at the edge of the big SES logo. Just patiently standing there with the ball in her hip pocket, guarded closely. Got to be careful. Already got 1 5-second call earlier in this game. Lions able to avoid that fade here as they want to drive with Cruz. She is shut off quickly. Addison Rohr having none of it, and a travel. So all that, boy, probably what, 2.5 minutes of game time, and it ends in a turnover on Lions, and Southeast will have it back.
Hey, Tyler, quick question for you. You did the SIT.
Yep.
You did a lot of radio for that. So shot clock utilized during that?
Shot clock was not utilized at the SIT because there were schools in the tournament that did not have it. But I've done a couple of South and Central games this year that did employ it. It's the best thing that's ever happened to high school basketball, and I hope it comes everywhere sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I think that usually Southeast has some pretty athletic players that can get shots off, and I think that would definitely benefit them. As you see right there, a shot missed from Abigail Pearson. Ball's going to go back to Lions.
But it benefits, I think, a
good
team like
defense,
Southeast of
good
Saline.
athletes.
Exactly, and a team that likes to move the ball and get their looks. But, again, it just adds the element of you can't just stand at the top of the key and dribble it out. I know everybody always points to, the 6-4 playoff games and kind of the extreme examples, as Southeast going to steal this away off the inbound, and it's another bucket underneath here for Southeast's Taryn Getz.
And again, it was Getz gathering herself. She caught the ball early, could have gone up. She gathered herself, went up the left hand strong. Getz just knows how to score. That's something, again, if you listen to Southeast basketball, the Getzes know how to score. Older sister Reagan did a lot for Southeast. I have a feeling Taryn's going to put a lot of buckets in.
Reagan Getz currently playing developmental basketball at Southeast of Saline. Here, it's another steal for Southeast, and it's another bucket for Getz. That is 2 in a row, and Southeast's bench loves it. Timeout called here on the floor. Southeast heating up 6 points in the second quarter for Taryn Getz. A full timeout. We're back in 60 here on KINA.
You're telling me your driver can turn you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor is running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
For over 30 years, Ryan Roofing has been the area's leader in commercial roofing installation. Over 10 million square feet of Durolast roofing. Now, Ryan Roofing is expanding their expertise to the residential properties to better serve you and your home. Shingles, windows, siding, and gutters. Call Ryan Roofing in Salina today for a free roof assessment and get the expert advice you need. Ryan Roofing, serving commercial businesses in the area for over 30 years and now working for you on your residential property.
This is Trojan Basketball on KINA.
Back here inside the Equity Bank broadcast booth, Tyler Henry, Tyler Smith, a 33-14 lead for Southeast's Lady Trojans over the Lady Lions of Lyons. Quick reminder, coverage of tonight's game is presented by New Image Audio. Southeast of Saline comes up with another steal, and a travel will be called. But, boy, Southeast, I mean, the turnover numbers at the end of this game are going to be just something crazy.
Yeah, they are right there. And Douglas she couldn't do anything else. She's bent over for the basketball. She had nothing else to do with her feet right there. It'd be easy to say for us, just jump stop with the basketball and understand what you're doing. But no, it was a hustle play. Unfortunate turnover via Southeast. You see a foul right there from Douglas.
Yep, Southeast going to collect a foul. My rule of thumb is I will never criticize an athlete at any level for not being able to do something I can't do. And in this current state, I can't do a lot.
No. And that's exactly why I stopped critiquing them. I say this all the time. I once worked out with these girls. It was Abigail Pearson's freshman year, and she absolutely bodied me on the block the entire night. I was like, I'm done with this.
It's not a defensive assignment I would want.
No.
I do not want that smoke. First free throw up and good here for Lyons. That is their first. Well, second made free throw of the third quarter. They still don't have a field goal here in the third. They're going to get 2 free throws here, though, courtesy of Greta Showalter. And, boy, just 3 points here for Lyons. For as good of a job as Southeast did defensively in the first half, they've done an even better job here in the second half. Here's Getz, fires a ball into the corner. Heinrich picks it up and swings it, turning down the 3. Back to Heinrich, who fires away. That's no good. And the rebound is taken in here by Peyton Cruz. Cruz back up the floor here, gets it into the hands of Maya Fierro. Those two will break the press with 2:04 to go in the third.
And Tyler, you talked about the lack of fouls. I think that's a huge thing from Southeast because a lot of times you just want to steal the ball. You see ball handlers that aren't as adept at handling the basketball. But you got to continue to play defense with your feet and your body, and that's what Southeast doing a great job right there. Gets fantastic on the ball defense.
There was a lack of fouls up until the last couple of minutes, but now Southeast quietly has put Lyons into the bonus for the first time tonight. Only a minute 41 left to go, though, as a left wing 3 goes for Southeast, but that's off the mark, no good. They are able to save it, and it comes back out to Samuelson. She was the shooter. Samuelson is fouled here. That'll be the third team foul against Lyons.
And Getz right there. Great job just grabbing the offensive rebound, understanding where her offensive set's going to be. Just flings the ball out to the top of the key. Samuelson's there. That's a great spurt from Getz. It's exactly what you need. 6 quick points. Did some things offensively and defensively. That's just going to get the freshman more time on the court.
She takes a seat. Reagan Duran checks into the game. 7 different Lady Trojans have scored in this game. Hand check, ball deflected away by JoJo Vargas. Comes back down to Reese Heinrich. Would love to see her get rolling here. Here's a 3. That one blocked, though. It finds its way off the side of the backboard and falls to the... Well, I thought it fell to the baseline, but are they saying... Wow, they're saying Lyons touched that somewhere?
Yeah.
Off the block, of course.
I would say the ball was blocked. Hits off the side of the rebound, backboard, goes out of bounds. I'll tell you what, watching Reagan Duran, when she gets her feet set, she doesn't miss shots that bad. That's just good defense from Lyons, get a hand on the basketball.
She's been a lot of fun. You ever just misinterpret something you say?
It's like, do I?
They're my own words.
I do it all the time, Tyler.
Southeast looking to get this in, and they are going to turn it over. And insult to injury, they commit a foul in the process. It'll go on Addison Rohr. That's her third. And it's 2 free throws coming up on the other end for Lyons, who that's all they've had here in the second half so far is 3 free throws.
Yeah, you saw right there, Pearson wanted to go quick before the inbound set got ran. She thought she had Rohr open. Last second, you saw Lyons get in the way. Great defense from JoJo Vargas. Gets the hand in the way. Gets fouled, misses the first free throw.
Nothing doing, as you said, on the first free throw for Vargas, trying to become just the 6th Lady Lion to score in this game. Remember, they scored just 4 points in the first quarter. Picked it up a little bit in the second quarter with those made threes, but since then they've been held in check by this Southeast defense. Second free throw for Vargas, off the mark, no good. So Southeast of Saline pulls down the miss. They bring it back up the floor. 33-16 remains our score. 1:06 left to go here in the third quarter. Baseline jumper for SES. It's an air ball miss, too strong, and the rebound is hauled in by Greta Showalter.
Yeah, and that's a shot that Southeast has to hit if they're going to make a deep playoff run. You've got to hit those 10-foot open jumpers.
Although Southeast going to force a turnover on the other end. Add another there, and there you see Reese Heinrich slamming on the brakes. Heinrich gave it up. She'll get it back. Top of the key. 40 seconds to go. Playing a friendly little game of catch right now. Boy, Southeast had it. They wanted to go inside with Samuelson, but she got stripped.
And working Samuelson, that high post that we've seen Pearson have success in, but I think if you can also work, you see right there a foul in Southeast. If you can work Samuelson in that high post, she can do a lot of the similar things that Abbott can do. But you just got to get Samuelson more and more of that exposure and that experience in that high post position.
You've seen, darn near every minute of every game for this team so far this season. When was the last time you can remember Southeast having 18 turnovers in a game?
I can't. And I can't. They've never had this many turnovers and had a lead. This is an
just about to say,
extremely sloppy game from Southeast. And, again, it's not a beauty contest, but there's going to be great coaching points from this basketball game because Lyons is doing a good job just getting in the way and making this thing ugly.
I think the other thing is the second free throw goes here for Belote, and I don't want to be that guy, but you feel like sometimes it's not the worst thing in the world to get a little jolt and a little wake-up call before the postseason. When you kind of cruise in just expecting things to go your way, that's where teams get in trouble. This may be a good character development game for Southeast, especially if you feel like they're going to win this game no matter what, but again, it kind of gets shaken up a little bit, maybe jolt awake before the playoffs.
No, Tyler, you're exactly right. Like any time that you can look at stuff on film and learn from it, it's
another offensive rebound for Southeast, and they will send Reagan Duran to the free throw line. Greta Showalter picks up her first. These are Southeast of Saline's first free throws of the third quarter.
Duran buries that first one, but going back to your point, it's one of those things you want to see it on film, you want to work through it. This team, if they're going to make a run, it's not always going to be pretty. They've got to ugly things up. They got to work through adversity. As that second free throw is missed, that's a hose.
It didn't go, but I'll give credit to Sierra Belote. She popped up like a catcher and tried to throw that full court shot. 34-18 is the Southeast of Saline lead. We're back with the fourth quarter. When we return, coverage of tonight's game is presented by New Image Audio.
Whether on the field, court, or operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team just like a patient values an experienced doctor. Salina Ortho has ABOS board-certified physicians with over 50 years of combined service. If you need help staying active, or maybe you just want to discuss the newest techniques and services that Salina Ortho provides, or you want to see one of their trusted physicians, visit salinaortho.com. Come see Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
Are you looking for a local brokerage firm to help you with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach, right off Crawford, and in the Central Mall, Salina, and downtown McPherson. Based on honesty and trust, contact L&L Advisors today.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
34-18 is the lead for Southeast of Saline as we head to the fourth and final quarter, and those turnovers continuing to rack up for both sides. For Southeast of Saline, 18 turnovers in this game. Meanwhile, for the Lady Lions, they have committed 22 turnovers in this game, and it's not a stat that obviously it's tracked necessarily, but points off of turnovers, SES has had a very real advantage there.
Yeah, without a doubt. We've seen so many turnovers from Lyons. You've just seen Southeast fly down the court and get easy buckets.
Good power dribble, though, is trying to go back up and score was Addison Rohr. She'll go to the line for her troubles.
And Rohr, I got Rohr with 8 rebounds. She's averaging 5 a game, and that number just continues to climb. The last 5 or 6 games, she's just been hammering the boards defensively and offensively. She's rewarded the free throw line with this one. She misses the first.
This is another team, too, though, right? You think about Southeast of Saline. They have a lot of girls that are capable of having a big night on any night. If they could just get them all rolling at the same time, you feel like this team could be really dangerous, even in as loaded a sub-state bracket as they play in.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. We've seen Samuelson and Pearson both pop off for 20 as that second free throw goes. You get both those hot on the same night, and you get a defense confused. Things can happen.
Lyons now trying to break this full court press. Southeast of Saline not letting up 35-18 after the made free throw for Addison Rohr. Here is a baseline drive and a shot that, just left short. Rebounded here by Rohr. And Southeast back to work with 7:30 to go.
And Tyler, what I love to see the most right there, that that press was unstructured from Southeast. And Abigail Pearson, instead of committing a foul, she's asking for the help. She didn't know where her sideline help was. The sideline help gets there, but Pearson just being headsy and not committing a foul, just asking for the help, getting it back over there.
Southeast looking awfully comfortable in the half court. Great ball movement, and they find Rohr, who's got 2 more tonight.
Yeah, and Rohr right there, she gets herself in great position. She established that position. She a 5 count. That defense, that's what I love about this. It's the fourth quarter. You're up by 29. I got to take my shoes off to do that math, but you're continuing to play defense because that's what you do as a Trojan basketball player.
I'm with you. I can get to 20. If I've got someone with me, I can get to 40. Anything beyond that, we're in trouble. Ball thrown back in here. Southeast of Saline back on the basketball here in the half court. Here's a drive and a mid-range jumper. That's off the mark, no good. Rebound is contested for. They'll call a foul against Southeast. Reagan Duran picks it up. Lyons will bring it the other way.
Yeah, unfortunate call on Duran. She was just going after the ball right there, but good position from Lyons. Duran's called for just her first.
With Lyons, got to be careful. They almost gave it up again. They will give it up again, although Southeast throws it back in, trying to save it in bounds, and it finds Salina Lara, who will oblige and go ahead and complete the turnover there on the other end. SES throws it the length of the floor, and it's a beautiful run-out layup for Taryn Getz, who's got 8 points tonight. Tyler Smith to lead all Lady Trojans.
Samuelson to Getz. I mean, just start keeping track. Right there, nice pass from Lyons. Great finish from below. But Samuelson to Getz, that's going to be a combination we're going to hear a lot of in the next 3 years.
That's the kind of play you don't see a lot at the high school level. That is a college-level pass. Almost the full length of the floor for the run-out layup, and then the finish under some duress. Here's a fight on the floor. We've got a whistle and a tie-up, and this time the arrow does point to Lyons with 6:08 to go. Southeast leading 39-20.
And that's when Samuelson's at her best, when she's going full speed and she has options ahead of her, because she can also just take that ball and continue to go. But she threaded the needle, 3/4 full court pass, just right on the spot right there. Getz catches it in full stride, and a great finish from Getz.
Southeast still not backing off this full court press. Lyons trying to get it across before that 10-second call. Ooh, they stepped on the brakes, probably right about 9 seconds. That was risky, but it does work out, although now it's going to be taken away. Abba Pearson says, yeah, I'll take that, and she will bring it up the floor for Southeast.
And Tyler, at some point you have to look at, both teams haven't practiced. They had a couple days off practice with the snow, with the weather and everything, so you're trying to get as much right there. Great shot from Rohr. Buries the 10-footer from the baseline. Not an easy shot, but if Rohr can continue to add that to her repertoire, she's going to be more and more dangerous.
Well, things have gotten bad when outdoor weather is affecting indoor sports, right?
Yes.
Got a whistle and a foul called here. It's going to be on the floor against Southeast of Saline. No, they're going to call it in the act of shooting as the 4th foul on Addison Rohr. Of little consequence this late in a 21-point game, but as the first free throw goes here for Cruz, she'll still have to be careful.
It is, and I think this is one of those moments where the veteran head coach, Shauna Smith, wants to take a roller out so she can get her back in later on to pull her out for that, the ceremonial, senior sub. So it's a good move from Coach Shauna Smith to understand what's going on.
Second free throw for Cruz. That one off the mark, rebounded by Southeast of Saline. That's Sutton Douglas who hauls it in. And Heinrich will bring it across half court here. Little token full court press by Gonzalez. Southeast dumps this down low, but it's stripped and taken away. Maybe a little hurried that time. And Lyons still looking for a transition bucket. Deep three-pointer will go. How about that for Peyton Cruz?
Yeah, Cruz again. Catch the ball. We've talked about it numerous times tonight. Catch the ball in rhythm, but just great defense on the backside for Fierro to swipe the ball away from Douglas.
4:51 remaining, 41-24 Southeast of Saline, but the Lady Trojans turn it over again. Lyons back down the floor. Poked away. It'll stay with Lyons here. Boy, it's been fun being back in this building. I think the last time I did a basketball game here was probably when I was 18 years old with Devin Haney. A long time, probably when I still went to school here. But good to see. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Boy, a great crowd as well. Always love how Southeast and Gypsum pack this place out.
They do. It doesn't matter who you're playing, what the occasion is. This place is always packed. The Purple Palace is the place to be.
Good switch up inside, but Lyons unable to hit the shot. Maya Fierro comes up short. Southeast of Saline brings it back down. Again, they lead 41-24. Skip pass through the lane, three-pointer right wing, no good. Offensive rebound, though, fighting for it, a jump ball. Taryn Getz couldn't quite wrestle it away, but Southeast will keep the arrow here.
Yeah, that's where you want to see. We talked about Getz's composure earlier on with offensive rebounds. That's one she's got to know as soon as you get that basketball, you got to go up immediately because defense is coming at you.
And even if you don't score, you're probably going to the line because the instinct there is to hack, right?
Without a doubt.
4:15 to go. High post touch. Shot on the way. That's no good. And, yeah, we're going to have an over-the-back foul here. They'll call that one against Sutton Douglas. That is, Jathan Show said fourth. I believe that's the third. Yep, there we go. Third personal foul.
Right there. Kiera Davis just had better position than Sutton right there. And Sutton just, again, it's one of those things that maybe the score's a little bit different. You don't know if that foul's going to be called, but Davis definitely had position. But again, it's the same. Okay, so Samuelson's caused a lot of turnovers, as you see right there. Davis is called for the carrier, the palming of the basketball. But it's Samuelson's on-the-ball defense that's creating a lot of problems for Lyons.
She does a lot of things right, and then you check and you're like, oh, yeah, she's a freshman.
Yes, and she's also got, quietly 7 points. Hasn't shot the ball much in this second half, but just does all the little things.
Lyons almost forcing another turnover of their own volition. They are able to kind of bring this under control with 3:45 left to go here in regulation. And Southeast will commit another foul. That'll go against Heinrich.
Yeah, and you see a lot of teams try to create that mismatch to get Heinrich down low on that block. Heinrich's held her own so far this year. I thought she did a good job right there. Referee saw it the other way. It's going to be a foul on Heinrich, only her first.
I mean, for a 5'1" freshman playing post defense, I'd say she's done a lot good down there as well. Here's another deep three-pointer. Lyons not afraid to just kind of chuck them up. That time, though, it does not go. And the Lady Trojans bring it back down the floor with 3:30 to go. Although they're going to turn it over again, add another to the pile. Shot on the way in transition. Counted and one. That's a big basket there for Maya Fierro, who will go to the line for the and one. Yeah. Foul goes on Abba Pearson.
Great finish from Fierro on that left side. And Pearson right there, she's throwing that pass, but Getz has to meet that pass. You can't let that pass come to you, and that's exactly what assistant coach Steve Reedy's telling her right now as Douglas grabs another rebound.
Miss on the free throw, as you mentioned. Southeast pulls down the rebound. 3:18 left to go.
And again, Tyler, we're not hanging this game in the Louvre.
No.
All right, going back to the French quarters. All right, we're not, but you escape. You get away with wins. You talk about the schedule, how it's been pretty hectic. Practice, no practice, weather's destroying things. You got to come out and beat league opponents right now. That's what Southeast is doing.
Southeast still working through offense here. 3 minutes left to go. At the end of the day, they have still forced way more turnovers than what maybe not way more, but more turnovers than what they've conceded in this game, as we've got a whistle and a foul that'll send Getz to the free throw line to shoot two.
Yeah, and that's what I love about Getz. She just sees that the defense is a little bit out of shape. She just attacks, gets herself to the free throw line for two easy shots.
Speaking of which, Getz also, as you mentioned before, a freshman. There's a lot of youth on this team that is going to be scary in 2 to 3 years' time.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary now.
It is.
It's really scary now, but you're exactly right. As these kids continue to grow up together, watch out.
Getz misses both free throws, but then gets tangled up trying to get her own rebound. We've got another alternate possession arrow. This one will stay with Lyons. And they will have a chance to inbound this at their own baseline as they check in a few fresh faces themselves back into the game. Salina Lara and Sierra Belote.
Yeah, and we're starting to see that with Southeast basketball. Like, even with the guys, you don't rebuild anymore. You just reload. You just continue to put bullets in the chamber, and you just continue to go to work. It doesn't matter what happens. Again, talking about this team, that if they get this victory, it'll be 14-5. If you would have told Coach Shauna Smith that during the summer, she would have signed up immediately.
Boy, Belote again loaded up as this ball is poked away. It's another Lyons turnover, but Belote loaded up like she was going to throw that down to second base.
Yeah,
she's got a cannon.
She does. I'm going to be excited to see what she does in the spring.
Yeah. Well, you guys might see her. That schedule out yet?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Without
okay.
a doubt. The scouting report's already been made on Belote. Just watching it tonight.
SES back at the top. They will swing it around onto the left wing. 2:35 to go. They lead 41-26. Closing out what will be another big Lady Trojan victory. It would be the 14th of their season. More importantly, they can claim tonight, at the very least, a share of a 5th straight NCAA league title.
or with their journalistic integrity.
Oh, of course.
They'll have the most wins in the league.
Correct.
We can't crown them conference champs. We're not directly sure what the bylaws of the NCAA league are.
Some slice of a pie.
Yes, there you go.
Here's a ball deflected away. Boy, I think that time it was a little bit awkward there. Pearson just kind of lost track of it and then comes up and commits another foul here. Although for Pearson, yep, that will be her fourth. Again, no harm. All that work done earlier in this game defensively for Southeast of Saline kind of gets lost in the shuffle here, but remember, they did not allow a single field goal the entire third quarter.
You're exactly right. And that's, because we saw runs from Lyons. I mean, they were doing things in the first quarter as that first free throw goes. But yeah, then all of a sudden you just put the clamps on, and that just can 100% change the complexion of this game.
Halftime adjustments, a strength of the Lady Trojans. First free throw good, second free throw no good for Kiera Davis, who does become the sixth member of the Lady Lion lineup. I say that 5 times fast in scoring tonight. Final 2 minutes of this game. Southeast, I think at this point, content to watch those 2 minutes go by. Of course, they'll look for a few more shots, but like you said, not a nightmare by any means, but probably not a game you're going to come away feeling amazing from, despite what is going to be a dominant victory in the final score line. SES working through this here. Heinrich dumps it off. Getz takes a bump. She is fouled. Belote will pick up the foul there. Somehow only Belote's first.
Yeah, Belote's been everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
she's done a great job. And when you're saying it's only her first, I mean, she has put her nose on the ground. She's done a great job. She's kept Lyons in. She's played well offensively. Only her first foul.
Here's the other thing. I think Lyons just kind of mucks things up like this anyway, because you think back to the first win for Southeast over this team. They only scored 44 points in the first meeting, too. And they're right at that mark here with 1:29 to go. As there's a foul there, as they will call that on Lily Miranda. Poor Abba Pearson got sent into the front row of her own teammates on the bench there. But this Lions team, they are good at mucking up games. We've seen that before.
Well, yeah, they understand how they have to stay in basketball games. They've done a great job tonight. Just keep giving themselves a puncher's chance. The score is not going to reflect kind of how they've made Southeast play tonight.
Here's a right wing three. Off the mark, no good. Rebound. Ooh. Takes a ricochet there off the head area of Kaya Samuelson, who I don't think fully saw that one coming down. Got to keep your head on a swivel out there.
You 100% need to.
Don't forget, coming up, there is a break in between games here where the seniors will be honored here on senior night, the winter edition for Southeast of Saline boys and girls basketball, cheer, and I believe a few other programs. Wrestling in the mix there as well. Plenty of banners hanging up here inside the gym. But first, the final minute 7 of this. Ball back in the hands of Kathleen Elliott here for Lyons. Throws a skip pass through the lane. That finds Arceli Reyes. And 41-27 is the Southeast lead. Trying to wind down the final 45 seconds of this game, and they're going to force, they're going to force one last turnover for the road. 14 turnovers forced by Southeast in the first half, 13 more to add to that total here in the second. And here it is, the timeout for rotations here. Head coach Shauna Smith will make the check here. She will bring Taryn Getz into this game. And Southeast of Saline will applaud as Sarah Feldman comes off the floor here one last time in the regular season. Southeast will also return Sutton Douglas, and a well-deserved round of applause here for Addison Rourke.
Hey, anytime that you can have senior night and you can get the seniors off on your own accord, that's a success. Don't look at anything else. It's a great job from Coach Shauna Smith. The fans understand what's going on in those seniors.
100%. Southeast does not have to take a shot here in the final 20 seconds if they don't want to. See if they want to just round this out and wrap up a dominant win here on senior night. But instead, they do go inside. Boy, you can tell Getz wanted to go up and score that. I mean, with so many youngsters on the floor, you might as well, right? I mean, you're not really hurting anybody by doing this. Getz is standing alone in the corner. I don't know if I'd leave her there.
No, you.
Here's Getz. Oh,
Tyler, you signed up for 32 minutes. That's what you're playing for.
Absolutely. Here's another pass thrown the length of the floor, but it's taken away. Getz is going to get one last turnover, and that will do it. Southeast of Saline's Lady Trojans pick up a dominant 41-27 victory. They get it done on a where they force 28 turnovers, and they win. Again, your final score, 41-27 here in Gypsum. We will step away, but when we come back, it's the postgame show presented by Commercial Tire Center. Coverage of tonight's games presented by New Image Audio.
Winter travel can be treacherous if your tires are worn out. Stay safe with an inspection at Commercial Tire Company. Cold weather also drops the inflation in your tires. Get them checked today to avoid losing grip or damaging your tires. Commercial Tire will help keep you safe. For repairs that aren't tire-related, our automotive and diesel mechanics will fix it right the first time. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th, Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
During the winter months, we all rack up a lot of miles, especially following the SES basketball and wrestling teams. Isaacson Truckline is a proud supporter of the Southeast Trojans and wants to remind everyone to be safe on the roads this season. For local and long-haul service of freight and livestock, call Isaacson Truckline. Visit Suburban Appliance Center in Salina to see the Whirlpool washer with 2 ways to wash, thanks to the 2-in-1 removable agitator. With a flexible capacity, you can take the agitator out for bulky loads or keep it in for items like jeans. Shop now at Suburban Appliance Center and get twice the washer you have at home. Suburban Appliance Center in Salina, located at 1900 South 9th Street, or check them out at suburbanappliancecenter.com.
The Appliance Center. It's where you go to shop for washers, dryers, kitchen appliances, furniture, pellet grills, TVs, and so much more. If you are looking for a local family-owned business, visit the Appliance Center. We're in the big red and white building on South Broadway in Salina. Come experience the Appliance Center difference.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
The Trojans are experts in precision passes, and Everhart Precision Ag are your experts in grid soil sampling. Everhart Precision Ag does all the sampling and data analysis in-house, keeping it local and close to the farm. They're also your local channel seedsman, selling all seeds with an emphasis in corn and soybeans. Trust Matt Everhart and Lane Hensley at Everhart Precision Ag, serving Saline, Dickinson, McPherson, and Ottawa counties, and also supporting southeast of Saline Trojans. For more information, visit everhartprecision.com.
Trojan fans, it takes fuel to win the day. When you're following our team to show that purple pride, fill your tank with gas and diesel as you're coming or going at our 24/7 pumps. And be sure to stop to get the energy you need with a hot cup of New England coffee or cocoa, or grab a slice of your favorite Hunt Brothers pizza and snacks. Assyria Oil and Hardware is proud to support the southeast of Saline community. Located at the corner of Center and Main in Assyria, we'll fill you up.
Time now for the Trojan postgame show on KINA. Stick around for the game recap, final stats, and reaction from the coach. This is Trojan Basketball on KINA.
Welcome back in here on the Commercial Tire Center post-game report. Tyler Henry joined here by Tyler Smith here to put the finishing touches on a 41-27 win for southeast of Saline's Lady Trojans. Obviously, a lot of good things coming down from this game, but Tyler Smith, your overall thoughts and kind of initial thoughts here on this one.
We talked about, the 3 points that you had to make sure you took care of tonight, and that's secure the win, which would secure not a league title, but it will give you the most amount of wins. It'll tie you at worst. Ellsworth still has a tough game against Sacred Heart, but it'll at least give you the opportunity to have the most wins in the league for the 5th straight year. That's a half decade of dominance that has not happened in the NCAA league ever, as far back as Elias or what the NCKS website, which is no longer around, what their archives give you. So that's number one. Number two, play your best basketball. That didn't happen tonight, but you get a win. You just position yourself. You can only be happy with wins. You can't be upset with them. But then number two, send these seniors off, with the victory. And there's nothing better than watching a timeout called, say it's for sub purposes. Coach Shauna Smith did that, got her seniors off. Not only did they both start, but they both got the a standing ovation when they came off, and both these girls deserve it.
And it's something too, right? I mean, obviously Southeast of Saline's girls basketball team has been a part of this, but I mean, Southeast of Saline as an athletics program has been doing this over the last 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, 4 or 5 straight football league titles, a number of basketball league titles. For the girls, like you said, at least a share of 5 in a row. For the boys, they've been mixed up in there as well. As, now the senior festivities turning it to women's basketball, and this is a lot of fun as well. But, again, it's a culture thing. And I think as much as we talk about this girls basketball culture, it is a part of a broader culture here at Southeast as well.
100%. You'll go to a lot of gyms, and you'll see how they celebrate league titles, and 100% celebrate league titles like you should. That's a big deal. But you come into this gym, they're not. It's only state championship banners that are hanging. I mean, the culture is you're supposed to win your league. You're supposed to compete for a league title every year, and that's exactly what this Southeast Saline girls basketball team has continued to do over the last 5 years.
And that's the thing, too, right? It's not just that they've won league. There are a lot of teams in this state that are content. You win league, job finished, hang the banner, raise the flag. For Southeast, it's about finding a way to get to state, and they have done a good job of that throughout the course of Shauna Smith's time here. Again, the last trip came back in 2022. They would love to find a way to get back to that gym in Hutchinson once again.
Yeah, it's a very similar built team. You go back to that team. They did have a star. They had a Carson Slater that they could rely on. But I think there's young budding stars coming up. And I think it's the point that everybody knows their role. They understand what they need to do. They understand where the scoring is going to come from. Every once in a while they get more buckets from somebody else than you might not rely on. But you said it at some point during the third quarter. I mean, there's a couple players in this team that can explode. They did not explode tonight. But you get a Pearson, you get a Samuelson exploding, and a couple other people to chip in. This Devin Haney and I talked about this the first game against Heston. When you open up against the state's #1 team, the goal is to play them again. How do you get back to that position? You put yourself in position to do that. You're going to host at least one playoff game, maybe 2, depends on what happens with other results tonight. But you're getting yourself into that position.
We talked about this as well. Again, I've had a chance to, again, follow this team and this program for a long time. Always see the score sheets, always write the recaps, always check in on the games as well. I can't remember the last time Southeast won a game where nobody scored in double figures, but this was an even-keeled night for Southeast of Saline. Love this as well. Taryn Getz and Addison Rohr led the way, 8 points for each of them tonight. 7 points for Abbott Pearson, 7 for Kaya Samuelson, 6 points for Sutton Douglas, 3 for Reagan Duran, and 2 for Reese Heinrich. Meanwhile, on the other side, 10 points for Peyton Cruz, 8 for Sierra Belote, 2 for Maya Fierro, for Salina Lara, and for Diana Gonzalez, and a lone free throw, the only contribution tonight for Kiera Davis. Before we step away and kind of mix things up, a couple last things here before we get to the final thought that I have here. Tyler Smith, your thoughts on a gem of the game presented by Vernon Jewelers.
Well, I think it's got to go to the seniors. I mean, it goes, strong communities build strong young adults, but it starts with the families. I mean, James and Heidi Feldman, with Sarah Feldman, Justin and Jody Rohr with Addison Rohr. Those two, like we talked about the onset of this game, they epitomize what high school sports are all about. They've worked their tails off. They've earned themselves a position to be here. They've had nothing but success athletically because they work so hard. But that comes from the family, which then comes to the community. But without strong families, you can't have strong communities. Just hat off to the family and to those two girls for just busting their tails day in, day out. We talk about how easy it is just to say, I don't want to do this. I'm not going to do this. It's too difficult. Well, holy moly, those two have laid the foundation. They continue to build this culture of what Trojan sports, what the Trojan community, not just sports. You talk about the classroom. You talk about everything else. These two are going to be successful young adults because of the families and the community they're involved in.
And you love this, right? Those two right now down there on the floor taking some photos with their coach, Shauna Smith. I know Shauna, especially this time of year, it's almost all business, but the smile says it all, right? You can tell what these kids mean to her, not just to this program, but I feel like probably to Shauna personally, right? All these seniors that come through her program.
100%, because she demands a lot. And if you go through this for 4 years, She respects the heck out of you. And I don't know if there's been a senior class that she respects more than Sarah Feldman and Addison Rohr.
100%. Before we wrap this up, again, taking a quick look at what this means across the board for Southeast of Saline. They are going to wrap up the regular season 14-5 overall, 9-2 in conference play. So if nothing else, they've earned a share of the league title, or at the very least, they will have the highest number of wins in the league. Ellsworth, depending on what happens with the Lady Bearcats game at Sacred Heart tonight, that could still be subject to change. But when you look at sub-state seedings, I mean, there's no good way for this to be Southeast of Saline earning a couple of home games. They may own a home game at sub-state, but, I mean, at 13-5, you're looking at playing 2 games on your home floor in any other bracket, and that is just not going to cut it here in this bracket here.
No, this bracket, it's murderer's row. But like we talked about, what else do you want to go through? You got to get through the best to be there. And, you know, if you can establish that you have home games and you can rely at the Purple Palace, this is the worst game we've seen them play at home. Flush this one down the toilet.
I'll own that.
And then go to work.
Overall, you take a look at the region coming into tonight. 18-0 Halstead, 18-0 Heston, 17-1 Halstead, 14-4 Riley County, 14-5 Haven. Southeast of Saline entered the night tied with Cheney at 13-5. Minneapolis and Nemaha Central licking at their heels at 12-6. Any other final thoughts here on anything? The bracket, Keisha, anything moving forward before we turn things over? The next time we hear you on the air, we'll be talking about some playoff coverage at Sub-State next week.
And I'm excited for it. And I think that's the one thing that, you know, this Trojan team always built itself for, is for the postseason runs. And we're just talking about the girls right now. Heck, let's not even start with the guys. You know, we saw what the guys did last year in a postseason run where they just shocked the entire state. I mean, all of a sudden found themselves in the state tournament and then did damage once they got there. And I think that's the funnest thing about this guy's team. You know, again, seniors that just, they understand what all of a sudden postseason basketball is, but it's the youth that's injected. I mean, all of a sudden you have a Gannon Jacobson who's vaulted himself as being one of the best athletes in the state of Kansas, and now you're starting to see some pieces come together for this Trojan basketball team. I'm excited to see how both teams just carry on in the postseason. You talk about experience from coaches, and we can talk all we want about Shauna Smith, but there's not a coach in the state of Kansas that has more experience than Frances Flax. Let's get these two, you know, get them with their dry erase boards, get them with their markers. Francis might still have chalk. We don't know at this point.
That's true.
But let's
true.
see what he can do with these teams, and let's have some fun in the postseason.
It's also right. We talk about the culture of doing things the right way, but it's a culture of winning, and I can't express how important that is, because ultimately it doesn't really matter where those wins come. You learn to be a winner, whether that's on the softball diamond, the basketball court, or the football field. You're talking about a group of guys for this Southeast of Saline program that just went out and did the ultimate hardest thing to do in the state of Kansas. They won a state football championship earlier this year. You can't tell me those guys don't have that eye of the tiger ready to go this winter.
Right, and we talk about it all the time, and this happens obviously to 2 schools every single year in each classification, but you miss out on a lot of practices. You miss out on a lot of time. I mean, I'm sure Coach Gebhardt would have been extremely happy if his guys were getting shots up after football practice, but they weren't. They were I mean, they didn't blow anybody out in the playoffs. Like every single game, you talk about Beloit, you talk about the state championship game against Nemaha Central, they had to recover. And all of a sudden, it was after Christmas when we saw this boys team really start to, you know, hit their stride. And I think that has a lot to do with it. They finally got healthy. They finally got going. I don't think we've seen the upside from this boys team yet.
We certainly haven't. Well, we will see what they can do against a very good Lyons team. That game is coming up next. We'll go ahead and step away, but when we come back, we'll take a quick look and give you a preview of that boys game. It's the countdown. It's a tip-off show presented by L&L Advisors, and it's coming up next. You're listening to Southeast of Saline Lady Trojan Basketball and Trojan Basketball, both games presented by New Image Audio.
You're telling me your driver can turn you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor's running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
Yo,
want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the southeast of Saline Trojans.
You're ready for any task and you expect the same from your tractor. No matter the job, there's a Case IH Farmall tractor ready to work as hard as you do. With easy operation, an exceptional operating environment, and more standard features that enhance productivity, Farmall tractors deliver the power and flexibility to knock out chores and keep going. Stop by Can Equip in Solomon and find a Farmall to meet the demands of your operation.
Attention deer hunters and land managers. Join Phillips Seed Wildlife for the Whitetail Management Summit on March 1st in Oswego, Kansas. Hear from Don Higgins of the Chasing Giants podcast, nationally recognized deer veterinarian Dr. Clifford Shipley, and Wes Delks, Whitetail Land Management Consultant. Elevate your whitetail management game. To register, Google Whitetail Summit 2025 or call 785-949-2204. That's 949-2204. Reserve your spot today. Spaces are limited.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of two types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialist will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
And the second free throw is good. The Trojans have called timeout to make some important decisions.
Hi, fans. It's Winnell Garrettson from Salina Homes. In every game, there are lots of options to make the right play. And in real estate, the plays can be challenging. Whether you're a first-time buyer, upsizing for the family, investing in rentals or commercial property, or selling land, I have the knowledge to help you win your real estate game. It's sure to be a slam dunk when I serve as your realtor. Buy or sell, call Winnell.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe in a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Hey, Salina, come see us at the Kelly Kitchener Agency near the intersection of Cloud and Ohio. We want to be your Salina, Kansas insurance agent.
Whether on the field, court, or operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team just like a patient values an experienced doctor. Salina Ortho has ABOS board-certified physicians with over 50 years of combined service. If you need help staying active, or maybe you just want to discuss the newest techniques and services that Salina Ortho provides, or you want to see one of their trusted physicians, visit salinaortho.com. Come see Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
Hi, this is Angela Gephardt from the Bank of Tuscany, and I'm still cheering on SES Trojans. Just like a great basketball team, we're here to assist, pass, and score big with you with our lineup of winning banking products. Whether you're looking to save with our traditional high-yield savings account, earn with Kasasa-free checkings, or secure your future with competitive loan options, we've got the tools to help you slam dunk your financial goals. Stop by one of our branches or visit Bank of Tuscany to learn more. The Bank of Tuscany, member FDIC.
For over 30 years, Ryan Roofing has been the area's leader in commercial roofing installation. Over 10 million square feet of Durolast roofing. Now, Ryan Roofing is expanding their expertise to the residential properties to better serve you and your home. Shingles, windows, siding, and gutters. Call Ryan Roofing in Salina today for a free roof assessment and get the expert advice you need. Ryan Roofing, serving commercial businesses in the area for over 30 years and now working for you on your residential property.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
Well, welcome back inside the Equity Bank broadcast booth as we get you ready for game number 2 of our doubleheader. And we welcome you inside here on the L&L Advisors Countdown to Tip-Off Show. Tyler Henry joined here by Kevin Lilly. Kevin, a big game coming up for Southeast of Saline. They were able to beat this Lyons team the first time that they matched up with them earlier this year, but obviously, this is a huge game for sub-state seedings. You talk about a team for Southeast that comes in, they're 9-9 overall. That can mean anything, depending on your sub-state bracket. You need to make sure you're on the upper side with a winning record. Give yourself the best possible chance to maybe get a game at home. You never know.
Yeah, and I think for me, this Lyons team, we went to their house, and it was a tough battle for us early on. And, I mean, we started kind of figuring some stuff out late in the third and the fourth quarter to come back from that big deficit. I don't know that that's going to be the case here tonight. Our boys have to be ready to go from the tip, and we've grown a lot. We just haven't been able to put everything together as a whole. And I'm hoping tonight with senior night and all that, that we can put everything together and put ourselves in a good chance to potentially host a game if that's in our cards.
Something I had a chance to visit, briefly with Coach Flax about during halftime of the girls' game. But you think back to the first couple of games for Southeast of Saline's boys. Where do you feel like you've seen this team kind of grow the most this year?
I think at the most it's probably Gannon. For me, Gannon has done so many different things for us, and he's kind of become that leader for us and getting us into the right looks and things like that. But I think also we've started playing better defense. We've started communicating better. Those are the things that if we're going to go on a deep run, those are the things that have got to kind of continue and get better and better and better. And tonight is one of those games, too, for me, is how far have we come, right? We went to their place so early on in the season and, got ourselves in a hole, had to dig out of it, and showed a lot of character, a lot of fight. And so tonight, for me, it's kind of a judging game. And you want to go into sub-state on a high note. You don't want to lose on senior night, and then next week we're potentially on the road somewhere too. So
and it feels like momentum is going to play a role too, right? Because you look at Southeast season. Remember, they started this year on an 0-4 streak. They came back, they won a few, and they lost a few, but they had that big winning streak, and it felt like maybe that was going to be kind of the all-in push for Southeast of Saline. But then you lose a close one to Sacred Heart. You lose in overtime to Beloit. You beat a Minneapolis team that you were supposed to beat. You don't have a chance to beat Ellsworth. If you lose this game, now you're talking about a team that's lost 3 of their last 4 going into sub-state. You want to make sure that you go in with a little bit of momentum and kind of a good taste in your mouth, so to speak, right?
Yeah, and I think as you look back through the season, how it kind of unfolded like you were just talking about, the Sacred Heart and Beloit games are those 2 games that you look at and you're like, we were right there. I mean, probably some of the best basketball that we've played all season, and it was against the best competition. So those are things that kind of, as a Southeast fan, which I am, you like to kind of see those things. You wish you would, have gotten the victory in those games because it could have gone a lot with us winning this league. I mean, it would have played dividends in us doing that. But, for me now, it's we got to get ready to go for sub-state, and we've got to take care of business here and start doing the things the right way and consistently the right way.
Southeast of Saline, like you said, won this game the first time around. 67-59 was the final in that one. When you think back to kind of the way things shook out in that game, what would you say are the biggest new image audio keys to the game here for Southeast to have maybe a repeat performance and pick up another big win over the Lions?
I think for me, it's that rebounding. They out-rebounded us pretty heavily in that first half, and I think for me, that's where we've lacked when we haven't been as good as we can be. It's because we don't rebound the ball, and we give teams opportunities, 2 and 3 opportunities to score the basket. And so for me tonight with Lyons, we've got to be able to control their size inside, but we've also got to be able to go inside. We've got some guys that can play inside, and whether it's Knopf, he's had a couple of good games. Gannon, we've got a couple of guys that are getting familiar with that inside game, so hopefully they can come to play today.
Well, and no matter what, right, you talk about getting inside, you talk about attacking the rim, that goes double when you play against a team that really is only 6, maybe 7 deep on a good night. If you can get some of these Lions starters in foul trouble and kind of make this a numbers game, you feel like Southeast can go a lot deeper into their bench. That could be a huge key, I think, in a game like this.
Yeah, and it played out at Lyons too, because they did get in foul trouble, and that's what allowed us to, kind of start mounting that comeback is that they were fighting foul trouble.
Starting lineups are being announced right now. A quick reminder, it is senior night, and tonight's senior night games are presented by New Image Audio. If you don't have a remote start warming your car up after the game, you need to see New Image Audio. Remote start is very inexpensive. It can be controlled with an app on your phone. New Image Audio, always backing the Trojans. Let's go ahead and meet the starting lineups for these two teams. Talked about, I wouldn't call them shorthanded. This is just the way they've been playing. And remember, this is a good Lions team as opposed to the squad that Southeast of Saline saw a year ago. The Lions come into this contest. They are also 9-9 overall, sitting at 500 and looking to kind of improve their standing. They will put on the floor a 6'2" senior in Ethan Luck. He will be joined by a 6'3" senior in Deacon Showalter. Rounding out the starting five, it's a 6'6" senior in Javier Solis. He will be joined in the front court by a 5'8" sophomore in Detrell Stanley. Rounding out the starting five for this squad, it is a 6' junior in Paco Espinoza. Meanwhile, for Southeast of Saline, they will go with a senior-heavy lineup of their own as they put on the floor a 6'1" senior in Sam Knopf. He is averaging 5 points and 2 rebounds a game. He will be joined in the starting five by a 5'8" senior in Ben Heinrich. Also, a 5'11" senior in Cooper Carlin. Both of those guys averaging just a shade under a point per game. Your last two seniors in the starting five today are 6'2" senior Caden Perry, averaging 2 points a game, and 6'1" senior Tanner Schroeder, averaging just under 1 point per game. Obviously, a unique lineup in a critical game. We had a chance to talk with Coach Flax before this one, and he said, we'll see how long these guys stay on the floor, but they've also got an opportunity to kind of start the fire here for K-Dub and go out in style here. It's a lot of seniors for the Southeast of Saline team.
Yeah, and I just think for me it's an emotional night. It's senior night. These guys are playing, they probably haven't started a game in their whole career. So don't try to do too much. Play within the system, and you're right. You're going to earn either less time or more time. Right? So you go out and just play through the system and play through each other and trust each other and have a little fun.
Those starting lineups were presented by Dr. Andrew Westbrook at Mallory Clinic and Sports Medicine. A quick reminder, Southeast of Saline is under the instruction of head coach Francis Flax. It's his first year with SES, but it's far from his first year as coach, one of the most decorated coaches in the state of Kansas in its long and storied history. Meanwhile, this Lions team is under the direction of head coach Sam Schmidt, assisted by Rassin Hines and Dave Vriamontes. Southeast comes out in their all-white home jerseys, purple numerals trimmed in black. Meanwhile, for Lions, it's the all-blue jerseys, white numerals also trimmed in black. Southeast wins the tip. They will work on it here from right to left as we view it from up here in the Crow's Perch. SES looking to strike first. Again, 5 seniors on the floor, and an early turnover will give it to Lions. An opportunity here for the Lions of Lyons to strike first. Boy, that's always a mouthful.
Yeah, and right off the tip, you see an effort play by Cooper Carlin to go get a loose ball.
Now we'll see how the defensive effort is for Southeast. Boy, good tip and just right on cue. It's a quick steal. They will bring the ball back up the floor here, do the Trojans. Swinging around, that's Caden Perry on the right wing. Back to Sam Knopf as they want to work this ball on the left wing. Everything on the perimeter right now for Southeast of Saline. No shot clock to worry about. Obviously, in high school basketball, they can settle in and take their time. Working here, top of the key, Ben Heinrich takes a 3. That's off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Lyons, and here come the Lions.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that shot selection from Heinrich there.
Another steal stolen away here, taken by Sam Knopf. He wants to speed down the floor. Count the bucket and 1. Sam Knopf going to the line for the three-point play.
And we talked about it early, the defensive pressure and the effort plays, and we've seen them every defensive set that we've had. High energy, high effort.
Sam Knopf playing in and starting simultaneously his 19th game. He is the only traditional starter on the floor here in this one. Caden Perry has seen some starts here as of late, though. 9 starts for him this season.
Yeah, and he's played well of late as well.
So Knopf, the first bucket, missed the free throw. A miss on the other end and a rebound hauled in here. That was the first shot taken by Lyons, who turned the ball over on each of their first 2 possessions of this game.
Just active hands, playing without fouling.
Southeast going to almost cough up a turnover of their own, but it is salvaged by Caden Perry there on the right wing. They will stop and try to settle it back in here. They've got it on the left wing with Caden Perry. Again, slow, patient offense. It leads to a free throw line jumper, and it is good. Sam Knopf, a little 4-0 run to start this game for Southeast.
And this is what, Devin and I have been talking about for a couple of games is, he could be that X factor for Southeast, and he's played really well as of late.
Lyons turns down the shot. They want to shovel this off inside, kick it out for a right wing three-pointer. There's your answer as Ethan Luck knocks down the triple, and it's a 4-3 lead for Southeast of Saline.
And one of the things that I wrote on my sheet, contain Luck. That is going to be the key tonight for Southeast, is containing him outside and penetrating.
Southeast looking to answer back here on their offensive end. Cooper Carlin had it. He'll give it up to Ben Heinrich. I like this right now. Southeast starting on the perimeter and then just kind of trying to shake that defense loose side to side, find their way inside.
Well, and you could see early on, Lyons is very lethargic defensively.
Here's a beautiful no-look pass. It won't lead to a shot, but it will lead. Well, actually, it will lead to a shot here on the baseline. That's no good. Deflected out, offensive rebound wrenched away, and the stick back is there for Caden Perry.
And he's just down there, with the bigs banging and not giving up on a play, and he's rewarded.
6-3, the early Southeast lead. Back the other way, here comes Lyons. They have this deflected inside. Contact and an and one here as the shot goes down for Javier Solis. Spelled like Xavier, pronounced Javier. Southeast of Saline will make their first subs of the night. And here come Owen Bailey, Gannon Jacobson, and Grady Gebhardt. They will replace seniors Ben Heinrich, Cooper Carlin, and Tanner Schroeder.
And this is kind of some of the things that we had talked about being senior night. How would we do? They're handing it off to them with a 1-point lead, tied up now.
You love that, though. I mean, again, they get in, they make the most of their opportunity. And now, it's kind of a bonus on senior night, right? But you get to bring your starters in 3 minutes into the game, fully rested and ready to go.
And they've seen what Lyons is doing defensively,
yes.
So they should have the advantage to attack them.
Doubt Lyons will switch things up. What they've worked has been effective so far. No surprise here. Again, handling the point is Grady Gebhardt. Southeast working the ball here on the outside. First touch of the night at the top of the key for Owen Bailey. They will dump this down low inside the paint. Just too much on the shot. Nothing doing there for Gannon Jacobson. And Lyons back down the floor. 6-all tie. 4:32 left to play first quarter. Turnaround jumper on the inside. No good. Rebound knocked away. Last touch by Lyons. It'll stay with Southeast.
And, with Gannon there getting the ball in the low post, he just kind of forced that. He needs to kick that back out to Owen out there and keep feeding each other.
Southeast of Saline. Back on it here with Grady. 6-6, and we've got a foul here, a push. They're going to get that on Ethan Luck. You said you got to find a way to contain Luck, and, one way to do that is to get him in foul trouble. It's just his first, but again, this team is very short on that bench.
And they're kind of a reminder of that Ellsworth team. 5 starters. They like to run those 5 starters as long as they can.
Right now, they have not made a sub yet. Actually, they have Javier Solis on the bench right now. Either way, Owen Bailey wants to take this all the way to the inside. His shot falls. Boy, how about that? A strong runner and a lefty finish for Owen Bailey.
It's one of those shots where you're like, God, it's just not a really good shot. And then it goes in, and you're like, yeah, that's a great shot.
3 white jerseys around a turnover here for Lyons. They had trimmed those down quite a bit, but Southeast able to capitalize. They want to bring the ball back up the floor, and it's a foul that will send Gannon Jacobson to the line to shoot 2. That foul will be the first here on Deacon Showalter.
And I think for the guys coming into the game, they just got to kind of let the game come to them. They don't have to really press the issue. They've got to put, Lyons in more of a defensive, problem with moving the ball side to side. Make that defense move. The bench doesn't go deep, so that's another way advantage to us that make them move defensively.
Jacobson knocked down the first free throw, stares down the rim, his second on the way. That one is good. Actually missed the first, got the second. 9-6 is the new Southeast lead. And now you see the Trojans go into a little bit of a full court press here.
Yeah, and it's one of those press that they're really not trying to necessarily steal the ball. They're just trying to speed you up and see if you'll turn it over.
Unfortunately, they will commit a frustration foul here as Gannon Jacobson gets a little reach happy. But you're right. I mean, you just kind of put some bodies out there and see if maybe you can get at somebody in their own head to make a mistake.
Yeah, and right there, those are the frustrating fouls with Gannon because he's so important to this team.
Quick power dribbles underneath. Deacon Showalter rising and releasing. And it's a 9-6 ball game. Southeast leads, 3:23 to go in the first quarter. Trojans looking to get those points back. Jacobson takes a touch, top of the key. He'll feed it down low to Bailey, who lost it, diving on the floor after the ball. Boy, getting picked up there by Ethan Luck. Put two hands on the ball and then almost picked the whole body of Owen Bailey up.
And I think Ethan Luck is the quarterback for Lyons, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And I mean, the kid's built. I mean, he's an athlete.
For as much as Luck may have a role, there's a lot of skill with him on the floor. Here's a beautiful behind-the-back dribble. Ultimately, Lyons still going to pull it out and take it back up at the top of the key. They will circle around here in between the circles. Patient offense here for Lyons. Now they dump this ball down low in the paint. Shot up and in. That one falls for Teagan Link.
And defensively, our first, we cut off the drive there, and we just have to be a little more physical with their bigs down low.
Both teams have really trimmed down turnovers. There were 4 in the first 2 minutes. Ever since then, clean basketball and a clean look here as Caden Perry makes his second shot of the night. Southeast back ahead 11-10.
And he's getting more and more confidence. As he's been playing well, he's starting to do a little bit more of that.
Bit of fun back and forth battle here through the opening portion of this first quarter. 2:15 left to play in the opening frame. Lions looking back to their coach. They get the call in here on the play. And this is a Lions program that has considerably improved since the last couple of seasons. They are looking for a 500 record or better. And here they will turn it over. It's hard to pull a program up from tough times. And again, you really do have to tip your cap and commend the job that Sam Schmidt's done with this team.
Yeah. It's not your old school Lions, that's for sure.
They've got a fresh logo to match.
Yeah.
And it looks good.
Yep.
11-10 is the lead for Southeast of Saline. Back on the basketball. Quick trigger three-pointer. No good for Gannon Jacobson. Lions the rebound. And a chance now for the Lions to take the lead back.
And I love that shot, but I think Gannon would tell you, too, he can get that shot anytime he wants it. I want to see him going downhill.
Yeah, quick trigger really didn't give any option for anything else as Lions turns it over for the 5th time in this first quarter. And for as good as they've been when they've settled in, they've now turned it over on their last 3 possessions. It's been a tough stretch here for Lions.
And defensively, we've been really good. We've backside defense has been there. We've cut off drives. I mean, we've played defensively probably about as well as I've seen us play in a while.
Southeast forcing the issue. Now back to work on offense. Adam Teal dumps this down low. This is Bailey. His baseline jumper is good. And Southeast ahead by 3 now. Lions threw it ahead quickly. They will shovel it off. Now stop and settle back in the half court. Working on this baseline drive. A lot of contact, but a whistle and a foul is called. They're going to get that, I believe, on Adam Teal. It'll be his first for Southeast as a team. Only their second. At third, actually.
And the last offensive possession for Southeast, Flax and Owens were talking about something. I don't know if that's what they were talking to, be aggressive. You've got a mismatch down low. But a little fall away, Jay, and he makes it.
First free throw good here for Javier Solis. A team high 4 points for him. Chance to make it 5 and get his squad back within 1. Gets both free throws here, and a small but mighty student section has traveled here from Lions. On the opposite end of the floor, they're making some noise.
Yeah.
Not mighty in numbers, but very loud.
Yeah. Yep.
Chancing here for defense. Southeast of Saline, hoping not to oblige.
And I think in high school, that's one of the things that I've traveled around with Southeast. You don't hear a lot of people getting into the games as much anymore.
Deep three-pointer off the mark, no good. You got to get the student body invested first. You can worry about the rest after that. Huge SWAT block. Oh, my goodness. Owen Bailey knocking on the door. There's a SWAT team coming in. Ho, ho, ho.
If there was a stand back behind, it'd be the second deck. He swatted it good.
And without committing a foul. I mean, that's the most impressive part about that. Here, active hands, Southeast almost takes it away. So Lyons will try to settle back in here to their half-court offense, although they've stagnated over the last couple of minutes. We are inside the final minute of the opening quarter. 32 seconds left to go. Ball dribbled off the foot momentarily of Paco Espinoza. They save it here with Detrell Stanley. Dump it down low and a high-arcing shot as Espinoza makes up for the air. He scores, and his Lions lead here by 1. Southeast of Saline, I would imagine, wants to play for the last shot here, although they will take a right wing 3 with 10 seconds left, and that's kind of what got him in trouble against Beloit.
Yep.
And now it's a chance for Lyons to build the lead. 3 seconds left to go, though. They got to get something up quick. It's a deep 3, and it's off the mark. So at the end of the first quarter, it's Lyons up by 1 on the road, 14-13. Back with more when we return. Coverage of Southeast of Saline basketball presented tonight by New Image Audio.
I'm Ryan Arms, your mortgage loan originator at Equity Bank here in Salina, Kansas. I'm a lifelong Salina resident here to tell you our bank can offer you mortgage and refinance options with terms designed for you. Why leave our community when you can choose the bank that never forgets it's your money? With 2 locations in town on Ohio Street and Santa Fe Avenue, there's no better time to apply online, in person, or over the phone. Learn more at equitybank.com, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
And the second free throw is good. The Trojans have called timeout to make some important decisions.
Hi, fans. It's Winnell Garrettson from Salina Homes. In every game, there are lots of options to make the right play. And in real estate, the plays can be challenging. Whether you're a first-time buyer, upsizing for the family, investing in rentals or commercial property, or selling land, I have the knowledge to help you win your real estate game. It's sure to be a slam dunk when I serve as your realtor. Buy or sell, call Winnell.
You're listening to Southeast Trojan Hoops on KINA.
Welcome back inside the Equity Bank broadcast booth here on the campus of Southeast of Saline. SES down by 1 here, 14-13. Now, Kevin Lilly, your initial thoughts here on kind of the way the first quarter shook out between these two?
Yeah, I mean, our first team there with the seniors playing, I felt like we were really pretty good and pretty active. I felt like we've kind of brought in our starters and we've taken a few quick shots, and which has led to us trailing by 1, I believe.
Also, something that Tyler Smith brought up, but this is a unique situation, right? You had a very winnable game that you felt like you were going to be able to kind of come in and dominate against Ellsworth. You didn't get to play it. That knocks you in the standings. That also means, though, there's a little rust here, right? You haven't played a real game in a little while. You haven't had as many practices with all the ice and the snow, and it's things like this, right? A quick foul against Tiernan Potacek that you just wonder if there's a little bit of midseason rust you got to knock off before the tournament after the break.
Yeah, and sometimes, I've made this on the air, I've made this point, is that sometimes we do the easy thing instead of the hard thing. And the easy thing is just throw up shots instead of moving the ball side to side and putting somebody in a bad position.
Southeast is fortunate that Lyons continues to commit turnovers. That is their 7th of this game. It's not very often you outdo the other team 7-3. Or for Lyons, they've turned the ball over 7 times to Southeast 3, but they lead in this game.
And it's because of the quick shots. When we've moved the ball side to side and drove the ball, we've gotten everything we've wanted.
You mentioned Southeast needing to get inside. You're right, though. They have settled for a lot of jumpers. Here's a good turnaround look for Jacobson inside. Tries to save the ball in. Boy, tactfully avoids the cameraman on his way to the crash pad. But either way, it's Lyons back down the floor the other way. And it's a whistle and a foul on Potacek. That's going to send Detrell Stanley to the free throw line for 2.
Yeah, and there you've got Gannon, working hard inside to try to get us to still another possession, and everybody's out on the three-point line, and nobody's crashing into help.
They actually called that foul on Owen Bailey.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I saw Bailey coming from behind, and Potacek was in front, but Bailey will collect the foul. It's his first, as opposed to being Potacek's second. So I guess you'll take that if you're Southeast of Saline spreading the fouls out here.
Yeah, because I had already marked that it was on Potacek. So
it sure looked like it was on Potacek.
That's who I thought
but
it was on.
Hey, whatever works.
Yep.
Detrell Stanley able to go 1 for 2 at the line. His team now leads by 2. 15-13 Lions, 6:45 left to go. Southeast has it. Potacek turns the corner, jump stop in the paint. Fires it back out. The Trojans will settle in and reset here. They've got it now, do the Trojans. Once again with Tiernan Potacek. It's another turnover here against the Trojans. They almost force one on the other end, but it will stay here. Only 4 turnovers against Southeast, but it feels like they've all been costly ones, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sam Knopf is into the ball game here. Tiernan Potachik will take a seat.
Yeah, and if you're Tiernan, just take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. Like, you're a ball player, man. Take a deep breath and let's reset.
Here's a threaded pass down low. Boy, it looked like Southeast was going to take it over. Instead, it kind of plinkos off of 3 or 4 hands, and it's going to be more free throws for Detrell Stanley. That is the first foul against Isaiah Kerr. Well, if nothing else, Southeast is spreading them evenly, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's got 1 foul just about. And, boy, Stanley, he has missed both of his first free throws so far.
And you say they're good fouls if they're not making their foul shots, right?
Sure.
Or 1 for 2.
It's better than giving up a layup, I suppose.
Yep.
Speaking of which, 1 for 2, Detrell Stanley. He puts his team ahead by 3, 16-13 Lions. 6:14 to go before halftime. Deep three-pointer. Those are the shots you're talking about. That time it was Owen Bailey.
We just don't make the defense work at all. And we're playing into their hands with their lineup being such, 5 to 6 deep. We're playing right into their hands.
Well, like you said, again, foul trouble seems to be one of the big keys. It worked for Southeast on the road, and here at home, like you said, kind of obliging to play the style that Lyons wants. Lyons is getting to the inside. That's Javier Solis, who spins inside the lane. His team now ahead by 5.
Yeah, and he really hurt us in that first matchup, and I feel like so far we've kind of contained him, and done a pretty good job bottling him up.
Here's a through pass. This is a good look, but it's short. Nothing doing there. As Southeast misses another, Adam Teal can't get it to go. That's one, though, that you work for, right? As well, there's a shot made in transition. You talked about Solis. He's got 9 points. We've got a full timeout called by Francis Flax, and we'll take it with him. 20-13 is the lead here for Lions. Back with more on the other end on KINA.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe and a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Hey, Salina, come see us at the Kelly Kitchener Agency near the intersection of Cloud and Ohio. We want to be your Salina, Kansas insurance agent.
Hi, this is Angela Gephardt from the Bank of Tuscan, and I'm still cheering on SES Trojans. Just like a great basketball team, we're here to assist, pass, and score big with you with our lineup of winning banking products. Whether you're looking to save with our traditional high-yield savings account, earn with Casasa-free checkings, or secure your future with competitive loan options, we've got the tools to help you slam dunk your financial goals. Stop by one of our branches or visit Bank of Tuscan to learn more. The Bank of Tuscan, member FDIC.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Basketball on KINA.
Well, as Southeast of Saline takes the ball up the floor here, you notice that the Trojans have not scored at all in the second quarter. We're about 3 minutes in. It's a 6-0 run to start this quarter for Lions. And what do you feel like Francis was talking about in that huddle? Because I feel like you and I could probably guess. It's probably what we've been talking about, right?
Yeah, it's just the early three-point shots. They're not going, and nothing's going to the rim.
Boy, that going to the rim, but unfortunately the shot by Jacobson left a little bit strong. Here's a through pass over the top here for Lions. But if you're Southeast, even though that one didn't go in, you got to keep doing that, Big split here on the inside, and another bucket, this time for Teagan Link. The run continues.
Yeah, and you just can't let him step through. You've got him bottled up on a double team. You can't allow him to step through and then go right to the rim.
So far, it's an 8-0 run to start the quarter here for Lions. Southeast of Saline is just going to airmail it into the corner. There's nobody home. It's another turnover on Southeast of Saline, and the drought continues.
And I think you're right, though. Even though that shot didn't go for Gannon, that's where we need to be. And it doesn't matter if it's with Gannon or anybody else. We need to work inside out. That's the way we're geared. We're more geared to do that than we are anything else.
Well, to be fair, the outside jump shots haven't fallen either, so you might as well go with the higher percentage look on the inside.
But I feel like when we play inside out, our jumpers start to fall a little better because we're taking better shots.
Talked to Coach Flax before the game. He said the thing he felt his team improved the most was defense throughout the course of the year. Right now, getting stops has been the problem, and it's going to remain the problem. Another and one for Lyons, this time for Tegan Link, and the run continues. SES now down 11.
And I know we kind of continue to keep talking about it, but this team isn't geared to get down by a lot because, especially if our outside shots aren't falling right now. We've got to settle in defensively. We were really good early defensively, and we've kind of lacked here the last 5 minutes.
Nothing doing on the free throw. In case you're wondering, no, Southeast does not have a made three-pointer in this game yet. And now they're going to turn it over. That ball simply taken away. Boy, Ethan Luck stuck a hand, or actually Anthony Ventura stuck a hand in the cookie jar and just said, that's mine. Ooh, good look on the other end, and no good. Owen Bailey is there to snatch away the rebound. But we're 4.5 minutes into this quarter, and Southeast has been blanked in the frame so far. Trojans thread this through. Jacobson misses it point blank. He goes back up. He does score, but boy, if you want an indicator of how tonight has gone for Southeast of Saline, that was it.
Yeah, and he couldn't make up his mind early enough. I think he was going to dunk it, then he was going to lay it up, and then he went to the dunk and lost the ball.
Took Southeast 4 minutes and 45 seconds to get a bucket here in this second quarter. They are still down by 9.
And the thing is you play into Lyons' hands because as Lyons gets a bigger lead, they can start subbing people out that they normally don't sub out.
Taking full advantage right now are the Lyons. 24-15 our score, 2:38 left to go. Jacobson again gets downhill and finishes with the right. And Gannon Jacobson all of a sudden on a little 4-0 run by his lonesome. Southeast needs more of that.
Yeah, and that's what we've talked about. That's where, if they're going to double down on Gannon, then he dishes it.
Southeast forcing a turnover. No indecisiveness this time. Well, maybe a little bit. Jacobson is able to score. At the end of the day, the best basket's the one that goes through, but boy, weird vibes here for Southeast as they almost force another turnover here. The dribble kept alive, a timeout called. And Lyons will salvage it with a 30-second timeout. Gives us a chance to remind you that tonight's senior night games are presented by New Image Audio. And if you don't have a remote start warming up your car after the game, you need to see New Image Audio. Remote start is very inexpensive and can be controlled with an app on your cell phone. New Image Audio always backing the Trojans. Well, Southeast defense turning into offense, getting the looks that they want. It's definitely been a better last 2 minutes or so than the opening 6 of this quarter.
Yeah, and the thing is our defense has led to easy offense, right? They're runouts, and so you just got to continue doing that. But my thing is we're also pushing their bigs off the block a little bit. The last few possessions when they've tried to go in, we haven't allowed them to get so deep, and they've taken a lot tougher shots and they've missed them.
And we talked about this too, though, right? No three-point makes for Southeast of Saline. Only 1 3-point make for Lyons. I think Southeast content to pack the zone a little bit on the inside and just force this Lyons team to maybe take some jumpers. Lyons right now in some trouble on the outside. They will save it. Out to Tegan Link. Now in to Deacon Showalter. And boy, Showalter just backs Knopf down to the cup and scores again.
And that's just too easy. If you're Southeast, that's too easy. You've got to stay in front of him.
It's still a 12-2, or it was a 12-2 run, broken by Jacobson's 3 back-to-back-to-back buckets. Bailey now wants to get to the rack. He can't score, though. Left it short. And Lyons again trying to make something in transition. And another frustration foul on a reach from behind. It's the second of the game on Owen Bailey. No, it's the first on Grady Gebhardt.
Oh, and I think Owen attracts so much, defensive pressure that, he's got 3 guys going to him. That's where you want to see him, assist and find somebody on the backside cutting.
Detrell Stanley, all of his points in this game have come at the free throw line, and boy, he's consistent. He's missed all 3 first free throws. He's made his first 2 second free throws. So if the trend continues, at least you know what to expect. By the way, that's the 5th foul on the Trojans with 1:19 to go. Lyons going to be in the bonus for the last 1:20 of this quarter.
Yeah, and it's 5-1 or 5-0. So
Second free throw, well, there you go. Detrell Stanley, nothing if not consistent.
Yes.
27-19. Southeast down with the ball, 1:13 to go. They're looking for a little momentum. Here's a corner three, again, no good. Another contested triple off the mark for Southeast of Saline. Lions back to work here on their offensive end. They will try another three. This one goes for Javier Solis. This has been a big quarter for Lions.
Yeah, and he really did. He hurt us when we played at their place, and he's a good ball player. We gotta contain him, get a hand of it.
Owen Bailey will dump this ball down low along the baseline. He'll get it back now in between the circles. Swings it around to Sam Knopf on the left wing. Here is another drive, this time for Tiernan Potacek. Picks it up, gets it back off to Knopf. And Southeast will want to stop and reset here. They're down by 11. You wonder if they might want to play for the last shot of the quarter. They decided not to play for the last shot of the first quarter, but it looks like, yeah, they want the last shot of the half here. Bailey will step up. He wants to go. Wow! Owen Bailey with the high floater off the top of the backboard. Counted in one with 9.4 to go.
And those are the types of things that, for me, like, I think Owen is one of the best guards in this whole league. He can take anybody off the dribble, and he needs to do more of that.
Talking about a kid whose season high is a 34-point performance as Jacobson steals the inbound and lays it up and in. Southeast steals it again. Here's a shot at the horn. It's just off the mark. But a big late run for Southeast of Saline will cut the lead down to 7 going into the locker room. Lions 30-24. They lead. We will take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Shauna Smith about the girls' game. That's next on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojan.
Winter travel can be treacherous if your tires are worn out. Stay safe with an inspection at Commercial Tire Company. Cold weather also drops the inflation in your tires. Get them checked today to avoid losing grip or damaging your tires. Commercial Tire will help keep you safe. For repairs that aren't tire related, our automotive and diesel mechanics will fix it right the first time. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th, Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap. Shot at the horn. Stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Now, let's get back to the gym for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
Well, welcome back in here on the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories Halftime Report. Tyler Henry joined here by Kevin Lilly. Southeast of Saline's girls team got the win earlier tonight, 41-27 to close out their season in style. And here on the boys' side, it was a pretty good start, all things considered, but then you saw this Lions team battle their way back. It was a 10-0 run to Southeast of Saline, went over for 4.5 minutes to open up the second quarter, and that was kind of the run that defined that second quarter overall.
For me, I keep saying this, but like if Southeast would just do the easier things, they make they make the game flow better, one, but they make it easy on themselves because they don't have to come back from these big deficits and need almost a miracle to come back. When they're playing their offense inside out and they're driving and they're doing what they are really good at and playing to their strength, this team is really tough to beat. I believe they are, and so I'd like to see them get back to, the defensive pressure and running good offense.
Southeast of Saline closed out the quarter on a 7-0 run. It could have been even more than that if things had gone down on that final three-point attempt. But ultimately, it all shakes out, and Southeast of Saline in a much better position here going into the half than what they were previously. as they are down, but only by 6 here at the break. With that, we are joined by head coach Shauna Smith of the Southeast of Saline girls basketball team. Her squad got the win earlier tonight, 41-27. Coach, I know it wasn't always pretty, but at the end of the day, right, late in the year with a little bit of rust and kind of a weird week with that Ellsworth game getting canceled, a win's a win, right?
Right. That's kind of what I said. It's kind of at the point of this game, or point of the season where you're just, one more is what you need right now. And we didn't do a real good job for 32 minutes tonight, so kind of one of those things.
Do you feel like, though, again, going into sub-state, the most important games of the year, elimination basketball, sometimes it's not the worst thing in the world to get a little bit of a wake-up call maybe on the last day of the season, right?
No, I guess. I don't know. I feel like we haven't done that in a while. Like, we haven't had a real great game here in a while, so kind of one of those things that we need to get going. We need to get to where we're shooting the ball.
Ultimately, I felt like your defense kept the intensity up all throughout. That's something you've always been able to hang your hat on. You forced 28 turnovers overall in this game. At the very least, you weren't allowing much on that defensive end.
Yeah, and like I said, we were trying to get the game sped up a little bit to kind of create some things there. So, like I would hope we had that many turnovers. I didn't know that's where, but we had quite a few too. We had way too many for, somebody not pressing us a ton.
Late in the year, again, you look at the makeup of this team. We'll talk about your seniors here in just a minute, but you've got a lot of youth on the floor, and I thought the youth kind of came to play here tonight. Kaya Samuelson did some really good things. She had 7 points, but the player that really impressed me, Taryn Getz, 8 points. She led all scorers in this game. She is so good offensively when she gets going a little bit, right?
Yeah, that's what she does. She does a really good job scoring for us, and we've told her that. We keep telling her, her time's coming, and defensively she's got to get a lot better that way, and also she'd be playing a lot more minutes for us. But also if we have 3 freshmen out there, that'd be kind of crazy.
Other than cutting down the turnovers, we've talked about how tough this postseason is going to be with the sub-state bracket that you guys find yourself in. What are the biggest things that you feel like maybe you need to tighten up here going into next week's elimination games?
Said turnovers has kind of been our thing here. That's kind of late here. We've had quite a few turnovers the last couple of games here, and just shooting the ball better. We've been working on some things at practice. We're just working on making some baskets around the rim. We missed a lot of easy buckets, just those easy ones that we have to make, against those really good teams. The night against Minneapolis, we didn't make those, and we didn't win. We were played from behind the whole time.
Obviously a special night on senior night every single year. You talk about the class that you had this year. A smaller class, just 2 seniors to talk about here, but Sarah Feldman and Addison Rohr. How crucial has their leadership been, not only this season, but overall through the last 4 years to this program?
Those are 2 good girls that come out, every single night they come out. They're going to give all your effort. They're good kids for us, good leaders. Like I said, they just they show up. I don't ever have a question when I ask them to do something. They're going to do whatever they have to. Sarah's had to come in several times, like when we're playing 4 guards, and she has to come in and run the set play where she's going to have to play the post spot just to run that play, and she never questions it. She goes and does her job there. And Addison for the past 3 years has always come in and she's played a way undersized postman. She does a really good job guarding there.
Obviously, you've gotten to know these, young ladies, not only as basketball players, but as people too. I mean, what is going to be the thing that you're going to miss the most about these 2, taking basketball kind of out of the equation?
They're just fun kids. You come in there, they always have something. My kids love being around them. They're just like good kids around, and they're kind of both shy kids, but they're little sneaky kids too. They're going to pull something out there, just kind of their little comments they have here and there. But they're fun kids to be around.
That's great stuff. We talked a little bit about this, off the record before the game began, but you look at kind of the way things are structured, 4 16-team brackets going into sub-state next week. Before we kind of break down the bracket that you guys are in, how do you feel about the new format moving forward into kind of a new look for Keisha?
The new format is really absolutely no different than what they did before, besides that you don't know maybe the 8 teams for sure. I'm not really impressed with it because I thought they were going to maybe do it a little bit later in the season, how they do it, or maybe it was still going to be in 32, like they're just going to half and half and then split it up that way and seed them out that way. So I don't think people quite knew exactly what was coming out that, and when they came out with the 16, and then they still, I don't feel like they're still not going to get the best 8 teams there because they went and did it so early on.
Well, and speaking of not getting the best 8 teams there, boy, you look at the bracket you guys are going to get thrown into. 18-0 Heston, 17-1 Halstead, 14-4 Riley County, 14-5 Haven, 13-5 Cheney. A lot of these teams, you come in 13-5 tonight, you're 14-5 now. You're looking at maybe 2 home games possibly in another bracket, but boy, it's just going to be, tell you what, whoever gets to state, is going to be experienced enough to win it if they do make it to that tournament, right?
I agree. You know, our sub-state's tough no matter what nights. I told the girls our second, you know, you get around the first round. Our first round game is not going to be a give me or anything like that, no matter what seed we are. And then your second round game, I mean, it's going to be a gauntlet, you know. But, you know, I left our locker room saying, like, why not us? You know, like I said, we're young. We have the capabilities of doing things. And it's not about, you know, maybe who's the best team. Sometimes it's who's playing the best at the end of the season. You know, who's still ready to be there and be there at practice.
If nothing else, do you like the idea that if you win enough games, you earn the right to play at home? Because it used to be, again, all those games were neutral, but you get games inside the Purple Palace if you can win enough in the regular season, right?
Yeah, and I do like that a little bit. It's kind of, I don't know if we'll see this year, but I don't know if I necessarily like the girls play one night, boys play the other night, because I feel like our Southeast crowd travels very, very well. So I think having two separate nights, you know, I think that's going to split people and divide people up a little bit. So I don't know how that's going to go over. We'll have to see.
Sure.
We got to get there first.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, best of luck at Sub-State next week. Thank you so much for stopping by. Congrats on the win.
All right, thank you.
Once again, that was head coach Shauna Smith of your Southeast of Saline girls basketball team. We'll step away for 60, but we are back with the second half of the boys game right after this on KINA.
Are you looking for a local brokerage firm to help you with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach right off Crawford and in the Central Mall Salina and downtown McPherson. Based on honesty and trust, contact L&L Advisors today.
You're ready for any task and you expect the same from your tractor. No matter the job, there's a Case IH Farmall tractor ready to work as hard as you do. With easy operation, an exceptional operating environment, and more standard features that enhance productivity, Farmall tractors deliver the power and flexibility to knock out chores and keep going. Stop by Can Equip in Solomon and find a Farmall to meet the demands of your operation.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
Well, 16 minutes in the books, 16 minutes left to go. Southeast of Saline's boys down 30-24 as we flip sides. And welcome back in Kevin Lilly here to the broadcast booth. It'll be Lyons starting with the basketball. They will work from right to left as we view it up here in the Crow's Perch. Again, a 6-point deficit for Southeast to overcome. What are your new image audio keys to the second half for Southeast to get back in this game?
I mean, it's going to start on the defensive end. They're going to have to communicate, cut things off, and make it easier on themselves.
Ooh, good defense, but a better take knocked down by Detrell Stanley. Actually, Paco Espinoza on the make there.
And I think for offensively, you can't do it all in one possession. Move the ball around and be the best version of what we can be.
I know I'm just brushing up here on my high school rules, but last time I checked, there's not a 6-point shot.
Nope, there is not.
Southeast of Saline. Boy, I need to brush up on my math, too. They need an 8-point shot after the make there by Espinoza. Southeast trailed again by 4 going into the half. That's a good start. Gannon Jacobson with the reverse finish. And Gannon's a guy that averages 20 points a game. They held him to 1 free throw in the first quarter. You have to get him involved.
Yeah, and the thing is Gannon can score in bunches, and it doesn't feel like he's, all of a sudden you look up, he's got 25 points.
Here is a big block again without a foul, this time for Owen Bailey. And, boy, let me tell you, they've been getting up and kind of getting in the face of some of these drivers.
Yeah, and, for us, if we get Gannon going, everything will run through Gannon, and it makes everybody's life just a little bit easier, too.
Well, it opens up other players as well, because at a certain point, you're going to have to put 2 guys on him in order to find a way to slow him down.
Yep.
32-26, Lions with the lead and the basketball. They will kick it out. A 3-pointer flies from the left wing. That's no good. Left it short, did Ethan Luck. And a rebound hauled in by Southeast of Saline. Bailey back up the floor here. 7 points for him so far. Only 4 Trojans scored in the first half. You look at the scoring, 9 for Jacobson, 7 for Bailey. Here's a baseline jumper. Caden Perry, who had 4 points in the first half, has 6 points now, and then 4 points for Sam Knopf.
Yeah, everything inside. It's what we've kind of talked about. This team is so much better going inside out.
Trojans back within 4 here. Another drive for Paco Espinoza. Has it deflected away, though. It's the first turnover of the second half. It belongs to Lyons, and a good backdoor slip and a lefty layup for Gannon Jacobson. A quick timeout is called. Lyons wants to talk it over. It's a 6-0 run for Southeast of Saline, and they're back within 2. That's exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah, and some of these runs, our runs have all started on the defensive end. Really getting handsy, filling lanes, not allowing them just to get downhill. We're cutting off their downhill angles and making them, shoot that long jumper, and we'll take our chances there. They hurt us inside early. Let's push them out and see if they can make, those long contested threes.
It's the first time I've had the pleasure of seeing it in person. Francis Flax with a huddle of basketball players suited out in jerseys around him. It just feels right, doesn't it?
It does. and it's fun to, pick his brain about the knowledge that he has of the game because he's been doing this so long. So it's fun to be able to sit in the hallway and talk with him, and it's a lot of fun.
Francis Flax has forgotten more about basketball than you or I will ever know.
Absolutely. and that's not a knock to you and I. It's just the guy knows a lot.
Here's an ear turnover by Lyons. They almost cough it up. They're going to get into the corner. Three-pointer flies, and it's good. All of a sudden, Lyons starting to heat it up from the outside, and it's 3 different guys who have made a 3.
Yep. And defensively, we were just lacking there. Caden Perry helped way down too far, and we just left him wide open.
Normally, you're content giving up a corner 3, but you'd like to get at least a hand up or a close out on the outside. It's back to a 5-point lead for Lyons. 5:19 to go. Great switch to the inside, and a good finish for Caden Perry. Boy, Perry just completely turned to the interior, and there was nobody home.
Yep.
Here, though, is a quick look on the other end. Jacobson goes up and over and gets the rebound. And that's a point-blank miss for Lyons that they can't afford here.
Yeah, and I don't think that their bigs can hang with Perry there. I just don't think he can.
Jacobson kicks out. That shot left short. Clapping his hands in frustration is Caden Perry. But, Southeast really starting to work through the inside. That's what they've got to do. Here's a kickoff and a baseline runner. That'll go for Deacon Showalter, who's got 6 points tonight. Lyons right back up to a 5-point lead.
Yeah, and we just don't close that out. We just allow him to have the lane to go right there. He double clutches it and goes up and gets 2.
37-32, 4:32 to go. Corner 3, and it's good. Boy, you knew Owen Bailey was going to get it rolling eventually, right?
Yep.
And finally activated here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and he can go off in a hurry, too. He sees one go through, and he's going to take a couple more.
Here's a quick trigger long 2 from the free throw line. That'll crawl on through for Detrell Stanley, who's got 5 points tonight. And this Lions rotation of literally 6 players continues to cook.
Yeah, and this pace benefits us, right? We're about halfway through the third quarter, but we're going up and down, and there's not a lot of stoppages.
Yeah, when there are a lot of whistles, a lot of fouls, that can really break up the speed of the game, and you want to wear a team like Lyons out. Owen Bailey's three-pointer off the mark, no good. Rebound taken in. Lyons back down the floor and a left-handed finish for Paco Espinoza.
Yeah, and if you're Southeast there, you don't want to go for the block. You want to set yourself to take that charge there.
41-35. It's a 6-point lead, and we have got a foul against Espinoza. We said it'd be nice if Southeast could get Lyons in foul trouble. Nobody has really committed fouls, but I think you're also, if you're Lyons, you've had to spend the whole season playing smart defense, right? You know how not to get yourself in trouble.
Yep. When you're so limited on where you can go with your bench, there's no room for error.
Southeast gets this in here to Gannon Jacobson. He'll pull up for a deep three-pointer. That's off the mark, no good. We got a whistle and a foul on the rebound, and this is against Lyons. It's on Deacon Showalter. It'll be his second foul. But you said this earlier on the broadcast, if you're Gannon Jacobson, you can have that shot really anytime you want.
Yeah, and everything he's gotten here in the second half has been going downhill. Don't stop. Until they stop you, don't quit.
Jacobson, a much better look, but he left it short off the near side of the rim. Rebound taken in, quickly back the other way. Another miss. Boy, trading close, good misses. Now a ball thrown all the way up the floor, and it's the quarterback who turns into a receiver as Gannon Jacobson, the catch and the finish to bring the Trojans back within 4.
Well, and they were going such at a fast pace that Gannon didn't have the opportunity to even get down. It was like when we were kids and you had the cherry picker that stayed down there.
Yep.
That's kind of what that reminded me of. This game, this quarter is just being played at a pretty fast pace.
Which, again, like you said, really favors Southeast, and I think is going to continue to favor them throughout the game, even with the breaks and going into the fourth quarter. You want this Lions team worn down. Here's a three-pointer. That's left a little bit short. Rebound taken in by Southeast off the miss by Anthony Ventura, who is the only member of this rotation to not score tonight.
And we got lucky there because we left one wide open and got a guy pinned down in the middle.
Good ball movement for Southeast. They get it back off here to Owen Bailey, swinging around to Jacobson on the left wing. 2:41 left to go. Jacobson puts the car in neutral. They will take it back now to Grady Gebhardt. Again, you can afford to be this patient when there's no shot clock. Here's a drive. Bailey to the inside. He's turned away, but it will stay with Southeast. Bailey is trying to argue that he should have been fouled there.
And I think that's one of those, we're not going to call a foul, but it was actually off of Owen, but we're going to give it back to you so we don't have to call a foul. But the thing is Owen has to outwork Luck right now. Luck is outworking our Owen.
Bailey pulls up for the jumper right in the face of the defense and knocks it down anyway. And don't look now, but Southeast is back within 2 with 2:15 to play in the third.
And you know, for me, it's when you score a lot, people have your number.
Here's a quick kick into the corner here. Lyons, again, their offense has stagnated a little bit in the last few possessions. They'll take a three-pointer. That's big. Deacon Showalter hits the three. And at this point, every single player except for Teagan Link has knocked one down from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and it's one of those deals. It kind of feels like we get so close, but yet we're still feel so far away.
Beautiful move for Jacobson. They're going to say no foul, and we play on. 44-39 Lions, 1:39 to go. Big three, in and out, no good. Boy, that would have been massive for Ethan Luck.
Yeah, and his legs have got to be tired because he's followed, Owen everywhere Owen has gone. I don't think he had a break in the first quarter, I believe, but I don't think he's been out since then.
It's like they track the stats as Jacobson pulls up for a three. They track the stats of soccer players and how much they run. Boy, Owen Bailey's putting in some miles out there. Here's a pull-up jumper from the free throw line. That's off the mark, no good. Rebounded off the miss by Potacek, and Lions back down the floor once again as we enter the final minute of the third quarter. Splitting the double team off the window and in. Boy, you tip your cap to Paco Espinoza. There's nothing you're going to do about that.
Yep.
Jacobson looking to give it back to him on the other end. Instead, he'll kick it out. Southeast will swing it around. Here's a drive and a point-blank miss. There is a whistle and a foul, and boy, that's about worst-case scenario. Tiernan Potacek misses it off the front iron, and we're going the other way.
Yeah, and that was one of those where I think it surprised him. He was that wide open instead of going and maybe using the backboard there, and he tried that little floater and just left it short.
So 46-39 is our score. Southeast cut it all the way down to 2. Since then, it's been all Lions, and now SES wants to shift gears and go into that token full court press. They will back it off here. 37 seconds left to go. Ball thrown into the corner. Here's a quick drive and a dribble along the baseline. They want to shovel this ball back out. It's lost. Picked back up, though, by a fellow blue jersey. That's got to be 3 seconds in the lane, one would think, on Paco Espinoza. It's going to lead to a bucket there by Teagan Link, and Espinoza will have to tear down his tent from the campsite on the way back to play defense.
I mean, he was there the whole time.
Southeast, maybe that's a makeup call, knowing there was 3 seconds on one end, because that was probably a travel on Tiernan Potacek. Final 5 seconds of this quarter. Jacobson on the basketball, splits the double team. They're going to wave off the shot. It wouldn't have gone anyway. They're going to call it. Okay, they're going to call it the first on Anthony Ventura. But that's the thing. You think about the players who have seen so many minutes. Teagan Link has not committed a foul. Javier Solis has not committed a foul. And Southeast is going to close out the quarter on an Adam Teal bucket at the buzzer. SES trims it back down, but only to 7 as we put 8 on the board. We'll have it when we come back. Coverage of tonight's games presented by New Image Audio.
For over 30 years, Ryan Roofing has been the area's leader in commercial roofing installation. Over 10 million square feet of Durolast roofing. Now, Ryan Roofing is expanding their expertise to the residential properties to better serve you and your home. Shingles, windows, siding, and gutters. Call Ryan Roofing in Salina today for a free roof assessment and get the expert advice you need. Ryan Roofing, serving commercial businesses in the area for over 30 years and now working for you on your residential property.
Trojan fans, it takes fuel to win the day. When you're following our team to show that purple pride, fill your tank with gas and diesel as you're coming or going at our 24/7 pumps. And be sure to stop to get the energy you need with a hot cup of New England coffee or cocoa. Or grab a slice of your favorite Hunt Brothers pizza and snacks. Assyria Oil and Hardware is proud to support the southeast of Saline community. Located at the corner of Center and Main in Assyria. We'll fill you up.
This is Trojan Basketball on KINA.
Tyler Henry, Kevin Lilly here inside the Equity Bank broadcast booth, filling in for Devin Haney tonight. Southeast of Saline down 48-41 here at the hands of Lyons, looking to make the comeback. Well, that's a good start. Isaiah Kerr buries the tray. Southeast back within 4.
And that's a good sign for us. He can shoot that, and we trust him to shoot it. He's been shooting it pretty good of late.
It's been a game of runs. Well, this might lead to something. Here comes Gannon Jacobson. And this time, the sure-handed Jacobson lays it in with the right. He's got 17 points tonight, and it's back to the closest Southeast has had it in this half.
And if we just lock in defensively, we've been really pretty good.
Full timeout called here by Lyons. We will take it as well, but it's a dream start for Southeast. A 5-0 run for the first 45 seconds of the fourth quarter. Back in just a bit on KINA.
You're telling me your driver can turn you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor's running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
Suit up for your next Southeast of Saline game day with Trojan gear from CopyCo. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, and more available off the rack or customized. At CopyCo, they offer all the printing and custom apparel you need at the prices and fast turnaround you've come to expect over the last 30 years as your local hometown print shop. Whether you're a diehard Trojan fan, a coach planning the next big event, or a business looking to sponsor the team, they've got everything you need to show your Southeast of Saline spirit. CopyCo, more than just a copy center, a proud sponsor of Southeast of Saline.
This is Trojan Basketball on KINA.
Welcome back inside the Purple Palace. It's the Equity Bank broadcast booth. A quick reminder, coverage of tonight's game presented by New Image Audio. Southeast of Saline, boy, they forced a couple of big turnovers here as of late, and they've turned those turnovers into points. They almost forced one here, but it's going to lead to a quick shot blocked away on the baseline, taken away by Owen Bailey. How about the athleticism of Adam Teal there?
Yeah, we had 3 blocks on that one possession there.
Now the question is, can Southeast of Saline find a way to cash this in for points? Looking to tie or take the lead. They will beat well, we got a whistle and a foul there as somebody gambled on a steal on the outside. It will lead to a foul. It'll be the first on Solis. He was the last starter who had one to give, or rather who had his first one to give.
And that's one of those fouls where probably if he doesn't fall, it doesn't get called. But
boy. Well, it's not what Southeast of Saline wanted. They tried to get that to Isaiah Kerr, and instead they threw it into the cheap seats.
Yep, got to value possessions now, right? You should be valuing every possession.
17 points for Gannon Jacobson, 12 for Owen Bailey. And it will be Lyons inbounding here. They have a chance to stretch this out. Every time Southeast has gotten it back down to 2, their Lyons has found a way to go on a big run. Big spin move. This would be a big three-pointer. It's in and out, no good, though, and Jacobson skies for the rebound. Southeast of Saline, a chance here to tie or take the lead. Jacobson to the inside, just missed it. Rebound, fought for, whistle, and a foul. It's going against Isaiah Kerr. It's the first on Southeast of Saline in the quarter, the second on Kerr in this game.
And you're right. It feels like, we get it so close, and then they go on a run. We just haven't got over that hump here.
Southeast needing to lock in and find another stop. 6:10 left to go here in the final quarter. They've trailed for a majority of this game. Lyons has done a good job here. Oh, and an offensive foul. Gannon Jacobson snapped his head back. I'm not going to lie. He might have sold it a little bit, but there was 100% contact there to call the foul.
Yeah, I think anytime you lead in and the defender's in good position there, you lead with that shoulder, you make it such an easy call for these guys. Because whether it's a bailout call or not, you led with your shoulder, and you created that space to have the advantage.
This is the third straight possession where Southeast has had a chance to tie or take the lead. They have not found a way to even this score. 5:45 left to go. Got to get it going sooner rather than later. Big spin move for Jacobson, who slaps the crash pad in frustration, but will go to the line to shoot 2.
And the thing is that's the first time all night we've seen that spin move, and Devin and I have seen that spin move a lot, and it can happen in a hurry, and he's kind of going to it now for the first time tonight.
This is going to be the 5th free throw of the game for Southeast of Saline. They have not gotten to the stripe much, and when they have not cashed in. Quick correction, the 4th of the game. Owen Bailey had an and one earlier. Jacobson went 1 for 2 earlier. Here, Jacobson missed the first and misses them both. But it's out of bounds. Last touched by Lyons. And that's absolutely the right call. You hear the Lions fans a little frustrated, but, I mean, there wasn't even a Southeast jersey in the same zip code there.
Sometimes people just yell to yell. It makes them feel better, right?
2-point lead here for Lyons. Southeast of Saline doing everything but score. There you go. Quick inbound, and nobody home to guard Adam Teal. We are tied 48-48, 5:31 left to go.
And that's just a great find and being patient from Tiernan Potacek there, right? He knows what's going on, and he finds the right guy for an easy 2.
Lyons rises, and there is a bank shot for Deacon Showalter, but Kevin Lilly, that is the first bucket of the 4th quarter for the Lions.
Yep, and there again, our defense has been really good.
Here's a 3, top of the key. That's short, but it's rebounded by Teal. He'll kick it back out. And wisely, Isaiah Kerr, that's a veteran move, stops and resets in the half court. Tiernan Potacek picks up his dribble. He's got to find somewhere to go with this. I'm surprised Lyons didn't try to swarm him, and Coach Flax will call timeout to save the possession.
And it's a good timeout.
It certainly is. It gives us a chance also to remind you the coverage of tonight's game is presented by New Image Audio. If you don't have a remote start warming up your car after the game, first of all, I'm so sorry. It is so cold out there right now. But good news for you. You can call the good folks at New Image Audio and get that baby installed. Remote start, very inexpensive. It can be controlled with an app on your phone. New Image Audio, as always, backing the Trojans. Southeast down by 2. They've gotten it going offensively. They've gotten it going defensively. But the question is, as it always is with this team, can they maintain that for the last 5 minutes and find a way to pull away and get this win?
Yeah, and it's really simple, right? Don't try to do it all by yourself. Use everybody defensively, get some good runouts, and just continue to do what we've been doing to get back into this game. And, it felt like it was a mountain to climb, and now you're here. Don't take your foot off the gas pedal. Let's keep going.
Don't forget, Lyons led this game by 12 points. Southeast got it back down to 2 3 separate times. It is a 2-point deficit now. SES picks up their dribble. They will throw this to Knopf for the lead. Off the mark, no good. Rebounded here by the Lions. They want to throw it ahead, and that is going to lead to a miss. Oh, my goodness. Tegan Link had a chance to extend the lead. There's the spin move and another bucket for Gannon Jacobson. He's got 19 tonight. We are tied. Lions for the answer, of course.
And you can't celebrate. You got to get back. You got to get back defensively.
Yep, Paco Espinoza. Kick out here for Southeast. Good closeout defense, but a better bucket for Adam Teal. And the heavyweight punch-out continues.
It's just back and forth.
52-52. Shot that circles the cylinder and crawls out on Deacon Showalter. And the Trojans smelling blood in the water now, looking to make the most of this. Jacobson has not hit a three-pointer in this game. Matter of fact, Southeast as a team has just one made three-pointer. It came from Owen Bailey in the third quarter. SES has been at their best when they found ways to get inside, trying to pull up off the dribble. It's deflected away. That might not have been the shot that Southeast was looking for.
Yeah, they got the Lions big all the way out to guard.
Great feed and an excellent finish there for Tegan Link. And that was too easy. Here we got a whistle and a foul on the other end. Both teams going fast. Who's this against? They're going to call that on Paco Espinoza. That will be his second foul. So Espinoza will take a seat. Ethan Luck is back in. I'm guessing Luck is not going to come out of the game for the rest of the regulation at least.
And he sat for quite a while there.
He's well rested. Jacobson not rested. Air balls. The fadeaway jumper remains a 2-point Lions lead with 3:10 left to go. Both of these teams are 500. They're both 9-9. This game is critical for each. This stolen away. Jacobson back down the floor. Euro step and a lefty finish. We are tied. 54-54, 2:50 to go. Strap in, buckle up, whatever you got to do. You're not going to want to miss the finish of this heavyweight bout.
And listen, there's a lot of guys right now that are sucking air for both sides. Like, this has been a big boy fight.
Lyons has found just enough to match pace with Southeast over the last 5 minutes. They get it back here on the outside. It's Deacon Showalter. Now back to Paco Espinoza. They dump this ball off in the high post. Once again, that's Showalter looking to get this inside. He finds his buddy and teammate Solis, and it's a foul against Southeast, who has also, for what it's worth, Kevin, done a good job of spreading out the fouls. No one's in trouble, but you don't want to concede too many free throws down the stretch.
Yeah, and right there, we were in really good position on the first side, and then they reverse it to the other side, and we were late getting over.
Solis misses the first free throw here. Paco Espinoza is back in. Deacon Showalter is out for Lyons. Second free throw here for the lead. Got it.
And that student section that you're talking about, I mean, you're right, it's about 10 deep, and that's it, but they're making some noise.
They're making a lot of noise. Their team is up by 1. They got a lot to yell about right now. Southeast back on the ball. They've got it with Owen Bailey on the right wing. SES looking to pull off the comeback. Remember, they trailed by 12. 2:06 left to go. They almost throw it away, but it comes back here to Gannon Jacobson on the right wing. Jacobson steps up from the free throw line, double team momentarily, shovels it back out to Sam Knopf. They'll kick it out, top of the key, 3! And it's good! Grady Gebhardt's first bucket of the night couldn't have come at a better time, but a foul on the other end will send Lyons back to the line.
And we have been talking about that all year, that, he shoots a really good percentage from the three-point. He just doesn't take enough of them, and there's too many teams leaving him wide open.
Grady Gebhardt, yeah, you're right, averaging just 1.2 points a game. Well, he hits arguably the biggest shot of the game, and bonus here on the other end, a missed free throw for Ethan Luck, who Southeast has held to just 3 points tonight.
Yeah, they've done a really nice job on him. I can't remember what he had back in Lyons, but he had more than 3.
I was going to say more than 3, yeah. I would imagine. He misses both of the free throws.
Great foul.
Southeast will walk it back across the timeline here with Gannon Jacobson. 1:35 left to go. No shot clock in high school basketball. He can dribble out some clock. Now he wants to step up and go. Jacobson feeds it down low, deflected away, comes back out to Knopf. Southeast resets now with Gebhardt at the top of the key. Best case scenario, you waste some time, you knock down a shot, you make it a 2-possession game inside the final minute. Boy, Southeast almost throws it away again, but it comes back down to Bailey.
And make them come out and get you.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to open everything up.
Here's Bailey. Tried to force the ball through, but Lyons is going to throw it away, or are they? They don't. Shot on the way, no good. Foul called. And it's going to be, I believe, on the floor. Maybe. We'll see where they want to rule this. Yeah, it's on the floor. So no free throws. Second foul here on Owen Bailey. Lyons is lucky they didn't turn that over. That was close.
Yeah. It's just a hustle play for them.
Southeast is only committed, by my count, 2 turnovers in the half, but they've both been bad ones. And they're going to commit a foul here and send Lyons back to the free throw line. Javier Solis with a chance to tie this game with 52 seconds remaining. Biggest free throws of the game for the Lions.
And for what he did at the free throw line last time, that's really not a bad foul. So you just don't want to give up the and one situation there. So the worse you come out of this is that the game's tied and you get the possession with 52 seconds left.
Aside from that trip, though, Solis, his second free throw here, he is 6 of 7 at the line tonight, and this puppy is tied. Buckle up. 45 seconds to go. Southeast on the basketball in a tie game. They will slip it down low, and it's a big bucket for Southeast of Saline. Adam Teal. He's got 6 points in the fourth quarter, and the Trojans will take a full timeout. We will keep it right here. We have seen flashes all night of what Southeast can do, and they're putting it all together at the right time.
I think the thing that impresses me the most, the last probably 2 minutes of this game, we've gone downhill. We haven't settled for an outside jumper when we feel like we could get some. Right there's a prime example. Sam breaks the defense down. They collapse on him. He finds Teal underneath for an easy layup. When we were playing at Lyons, that type of thing didn't really exist on this team, and that's the growth that I'm seeing tonight, is that we're willing to at times break defenses down and give a guy a really good look inside, and he's wide open, and that's what's impressed me the last 2 minutes, that we haven't just settled for shooting shots up, three-pointer here, three-pointer there, and that's really what's kept us in the game.
If you're Lyons here, you got to go fast, right? You want to give yourself a chance for a quick bucket, and then come what may on defense, but it's got to start with something. I would imagine you're not looking to play for a late shot here at all.
Yeah, but I could see them trying to make this the last possession, especially if we're not going to come out potentially and get it and feed inside, potentially. I could see them doing something like that.
The only problem is that Ethan Luck, Deacon Showalter, Javier Solis, Detrell Stanley, and Paco Espinoza have all hit a three-pointer at some point in this game. We'll see how Lyons wants to play this. They dump it down low. Good feed. Big block. They're going to call a foul here, and it's a chance for Lyons to tie this at the line. They call the foul on Sam Knopf. For Knopf, it is his second. And it's the guy you don't want at the line, shooting two. And he gets the first. Quick correction, Gannon Jacobson's second foul. And, of course, Solis knocks down the free throw. Solis has been automatic at the line tonight. He has missed just one of these attempts. Make it two. That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge. And now they got to come foul.
Yeah, and they're not fouling.
They're not fouling.
I don't know why they're not fouling. Yeah. There we go. Now they will. That's the fifth foul there. Those are costly seconds, though, that just came off the clock.
Yeah, and sometimes in situations like this, I want to see Owen move that ball now. Right, they're all coming at Owen. If they're going to foul him, it's got to be an intentional. He doesn't have the ball, so move the ball and let's get it across.
Owen Bailey's first free throw is good. That's his first point of the fourth quarter, but it comes at an opportune time, and with one more, he can make this a three-point game with 19.7 to go. Second free throw. Yeah, you bet. Timeout, Southeast of Saline. They want to line up their defense. We'll keep it right here. Boy, what a fun game this has been. Remember, Southeast trailed by 12 points, but they came all the way back from the brink, and now they lead by 3 with 20 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and the thing is you could probably equate a little bit of this to that little furry before halftime. Getting a bunch of buckets and this and that within the 9 seconds. It kind of fueled us coming out of halftime as well.
Certainly did. Again, 19.7, all that remains. And the problem now, if you're Lyons, in the college game, maybe you have time to try to go for a quick bucket and then hope that you can maybe get a stop or play the foul game. Maybe you can do that here too, but you feel like you kind of need I don't know, you feel like you need a three here or not really?
I do. I think if you're Lyons, you've got to draw up. And this is the whole thing, right? We've talked about this, and this has been the debate with the three-point lead with under 20 seconds to go. Do you foul or do you not?
Well, let's see. Southeast of Saline will not foul. Lyons brings it across. Final 13 seconds. Southeast up by 3. Lyons, step back 3. Off the window, no good. Southeast pulls down the board, and Gannon Jacobson will head to the other end with a chance to put this game on ice.
And that's not the best shot available for Lyons. It was our defense that pushed them out and kept pushing them out. I think you're right. I think they were going to try to go in and do a 2-for-1 try deal there. and they just couldn't get anything going, and I mean, it just was not a very good shot from Ethan.
Jacobson has struggled at the line today, but yeah, in the clutch, you turn to your state champion winning quarterback, and he knocks down the free throw that's going to put this game away for good.
Yeah, he's got ice water in his veins, man.
Second free throw for Jacobson for good measure. Honestly, probably better than he missed it. If you're Southeast, you just don't foul. Time down to 1. 3 at the horn. It doesn't matter. Southeast of Saline gonna come back and hold on for dear life. They knock off the Lions of Lyons 62-58 and get the win on their home floor. They will close out yet another winning season at 9-10-9. We will step away when we come back. It is the post-game report presented as always by Commercial Tire Center.
Winter travel can be treacherous if your tires are worn out. Stay safe with an inspection at Commercial Tire Company. Cold weather also drops the inflation in your tires. Get them checked today to avoid losing grip or damaging your tires. Commercial Tire will help keep you safe. For repairs that aren't tire related, our automotive and diesel mechanics will fix it right the first time. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th, Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
You're telling me your driver can turn you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor's running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe in a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Hey, Salina, come see us at the Kelly Kitchener Agency near the intersection of Cloud and Ohio. We want to be your Salina, Kansas insurance agent.
Hi, this is Angela Gephardt from the Bank of Tuscan, and I'm still cheering on SES Trojans. Just like a great basketball team, we're here to assist, pass, and score big with you with our lineup of winning banking products. Whether you're looking to save with our traditional high-yield savings account, earn with Kasasa-free checkings, or secure with competitive loan options, we've got the tools to help you slam dunk your financial goals. Stop by one of our branches or visit Bank of Tuscan to learn more. The Bank of Tuscan, member FDIC.
Time now for the Trojan Postgame Show on KINA. Stick around for the game recap, final stats, and reaction from the coach. This is Trojan Basketball on KINA.
62-58, the final here from the Purple Palace. Southeast of Saline's boys helped complete the sweep as, again, earlier tonight, the SES girls came out. They got the win over the Lady Lions of Lyons, 41-27. We shift our attention now, though, to the Commercial Tire Center post-game show. And this is just one of those wins. It's just a feel-good win for Southeast of Saline. A lot of things that obviously could have gone wrong in a game like this, but when all is said and done, Southeast comes out, they get the job done, they complete the comeback, and they walk away with a 62-58 win. We are joined here by Francis Flax. Coach, this was one of those gutsy games, right? You get down by as many as 12 points, but I just never saw your guys flinch in this game.
Well, we didn't flinch, but we made some kind of bonehead mistakes there. Whenever they made a run on us, we were getting beat back defensively. And you got to give credit to Lyons, man. That's not a shabby ball club. That's a good ball club. They have size, they have experience, and for the most part, their outside game didn't hurt us tonight, and they are capable of hitting from the outside.
It was a 10-0 run that really let Lyons kind of build up that lead. It was a 4-minute and 45-second drought for your guys to start the second quarter, but you called timeout. I thought you did a good job of settling in and getting to the inside, not settling for jumpers. Do you feel like that kind of made the difference down the stretch?
I do. At the timeout, I told them, I said, there's no sense in this happening to us. We hadn't scored in the whole quarter, or maybe 1 point, I don't know. And
you hadn't.
Yeah, we hadn't. And and then we started attacking the rim, and good things happened. So we were able to at least cut the deficit at halftime. We had it relatively close at the end of the third quarter, and in the fourth quarter we played pretty doggone gutsy.
Well, let's start with the thing that I think is maybe going to get buried in this, but you didn't allow a single bucket for the first 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. That really kind of allowed you to build that comeback early, and then it was just a matter of matching shots down the stretch. What did you like defensively at the top of the fourth quarter from your guys?
Well, we did a good job on the perimeter, first of all, and made it tough for them to get the pass to the inside. Now, they did get it in there quite a bit, and we ended up fouling, but the first part of that fourth quarter, we ratcheted it up on the defensive end. And thing is, we got almost all the rebounds in that period of time.
Obviously, you want to be playing your best basketball down the stretch. It wasn't so long ago. Your team started 3-7. You're going to finish out the year 10-9. I mean, what does it mean to see these guys go from such a slow start? Obviously, a brutal gauntlet of games that you had to play early, but to come back and win so many games here to put yourselves in a better position late.
Well, it feels good. It's a testament to the kids, not to me, just for the kids. I mean, they've hung in there all season long. They've done what we've asked them to do. We've had the ball bounce our way a few times. We've had it bounce the other way a few times. But all in all, I'm very proud of them. And, right now, we haven't won a game. 0-0 is the record.
Absolutely. 22 points out of Gannon Jacobson tonight. I know that's nothing abnormal for him, but it still feels big to have somebody that's that consistently reliable. And he got kind of a slow start, but I thought once he attacked the basket, that was really where the offense opened up for everybody.
Well, it's difficult because we weren't in a normal rotation. And so it was difficult for those guys to come off the bench and be at their best right at the beginning because, they're used to starting the game and sitting there for 3 or 4 minutes, or 5, whatever it was, I don't know, 3 or 4. They came in and they weren't quite accustomed to that kind of a role.
Well, and Coach, you mentioned, the abnormal rotation. Obviously, the reason for that, senior night, and a good group of guys that you will be graduating this year. Owen Bailey, Sam Knopf, Ben Heinrich, Cooper Carlin. Go down the list here. Caden Perry, Tanner Schroeder, a couple of guys that got in and had a chance to start as well. I know we talked a little bit pregame about that, but, a group of guys that clearly has meant a lot to this program.
Well, they have, because like I told them in practice, I told them in front of the whole group yesterday and the coaching staff, they don't get to play much, but they come to practice every day. And, they're the ones that have made us better because it's not seniors against freshmen. It's our starting lineup against basically seniors. So, it's a good ending for them at home. I'm really happy we won this last game at home going in. This will carry over. Maybe not this tournament, you never know, but it'll carry over into next season. I'll guarantee you it will.
Well, and I know that, again, it's not the biggest thing in the world. I know that your team's never too hot, never too cold, but it feels like there's a big difference, right, between winning their last 2 games going into Sub-State and losing 3 out of 4 going into Sub-State. That was kind of what was on the line tonight, too.
Yeah, it was. I'm just kind of disheartened that we didn't get to play that game on that was scheduled for Tuesday night because – you give us another win, that turns the whole page, flips the page to a different chapter going into Sub-State. But we're gonna meet whatever challenge is there for us, and I can bet you one thing, that these guys will be ready to play.
Says a lot about this team, right? One of the only things that could stop you late was the Kansas weather here down the stretch. Well, Coach, enjoy this win. Congrats on the winning season, and good luck at Sub-State coming up next week.
Thank you very much.
Once again, that was Francis Flax, head coach of your Southeast of Saline boys basketball team. We will go ahead and keep it right here and keep things rolling as we wrap up the post-game show. Let's take a look at individual scoring from this game, and we'll begin with the Lyons. Of Lyons, they had Javier Solis leading the way with 16 points in this game. 10 points for Tegan Link, 11 points for Deacon Showalter, 3 for Ethan Luck, 5 for Detrell Stanley, and 2 points for Paco Espinoza. Meanwhile, for Southeast of Saline, mentioned it before, Gannon Jacobson is your leading scorer tonight. 22 points for him, 14 points for Owen Bailey, 4 for Sam Knopf, 3 for Isaiah Kerr, 8 points for Adam Teal, 8 points for Caden Perry, and 3 points in this game, but 3 big points for Grady Gebhardt, who hit I mean, again, I don't think anyone's going to question that was probably the biggest shot of this entire game. And that's the thing about Grady, right? You forget about him sometimes, and then when you need a big bucket, there he is.
Yeah, and the moment's never too big for him.
Yep.
Right? I mean, because that's a big-time shot. That shot doesn't go in, and it changes the dynamics of the rest of the game. So, I mean, it's one of those shots where it kind of fuels you, because who shoots it. They don't shoot a lot. They don't, contribute offensively all that much. So he's got a wide open shot. He knocks it down, and that's the difference in the game.
Our Vernon Jewelers gems of the game, it's got to go to the seniors here on senior night, right? And again, you go through the whole list there. Owen Bailey, Sam Knopf, Ben Heinrich, Cooper Carlin, Caden Perry, Tanner Schroeder. I mean, a group of guys that has meant so much to this program in practice, in games, across the board, and it's their leadership too, right? They might not all chip in 10 points a game, but they do so much for this squad and this program.
Yeah, and I think the thing that, a lot of people probably forget, but when they handed the reins to the starters, they gave them a lead. It was 6-5, I believe, when the starters actually came in. So to me, they got to start. They got everything that they wanted. They wanted to hand off the reins to their teammates and have a lead, and they did that. And I think they played almost 5 minutes of that first quarter. And, I mean, they had a lot of energy, and so that was also good to see. But the one point I would make, I think the other thing is Southeast boys, we haven't turned the ball over quite a bit in the last handful of games that we've played, and to only have one turnover in the second half, that's huge for us.
And we didn't even really have a chance to talk about that with Coach on our conversation presented, of course, by Frisbee Construction. But, yeah, I mean, only one turnover in the second half. You can really look at that. In the first half, there were 6 turnovers. A lot of those led to buckets and run-outs by Lyons, but Southeast able to tighten the screws when it mattered most, and they pick up the win, a 2-game sweep here on senior night. That'll just about wrap it up for us, but one last time for Tyler Smith, for Kevin Lilly, for Luke Armstrong, handling all of our camera and production duties tonight, and, of course, for Chris Cadle, pushing all the buttons back in studio control. I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. A quick reminder, the coverage of tonight's games, both the boys and the girls, presented by New Image Audio. Until next time, and that next time will be the sub-state tournament for both the girls and boys coming up next week. Saying good night and go Trojans.
And the second free throw is good. The Trojans have called timeout to make some important decisions.
Hi, fans. It's Winnell Garrettson from Salina Homes. In every game, there are lots of options to make the right play. And in real estate, the plays can be challenging. Whether you're a first-time buyer, upsizing for the family, investing in rentals or commercial property, or selling land, I have the knowledge to help you win your real estate game. It's sure to be a slam dunk when I serve as your realtor. Buy or sell, call Winnell.
Trojan fans, it takes fuel to win the day. When you're following our team to show that purple pride, fill your tank with gas and diesel as you're coming or going at our 24/7 pumps. And be sure to stop to get the energy you need with a hot cup of New England coffee or cocoa, or grab a slice of your favorite Hunt Brothers pizza and snacks. Assyria Oil and Hardware is proud to support the southeast of Saline community. Located at the corner of Center and Main in Assyria. We'll fill you up.
You're telling me your driver can turn you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor's running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and cell phone capable. Nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway.
In Salina.
The Southeast of Saline School District has a long-standing reputation for excellence. This excellence in public education has been a source of great pride and one of the factors contributing to the quality of life in our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation works in partnership with the USD 306 School District and the community that it serves to maximize student potential, thereby creating a lasting legacy, not only for our children, but for our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation salutes the Trojan Sports Program.
KINA, 910 AM, 107.5 FM, home of Southeast of Saline Trojans. KINA Salina, an Eagle Communication station.
To attend. Other countries do not recognize the new name, and the AP is a global news outlet with customers all around the world. So its stories and influential style book are still referring to the Gulf of Mexico while also acknowledging Trump's decree. AP's legal filing summarizes the matter this way. The White House has ordered its journalists to use certain words in its coverage or else face an indefinite denial of access. The press and all people of the United States have the right to choose their own words and not be retaliated against by the government, the AP's lawyers wrote in the news organization's complaint. The Constitution does not allow the government to control speech. Allowing such government control and retaliation to stand is a threat to every American's freedom. All right, asswagon, let me ask you something. All right, dumb lawyer, guy, person, lady. Let me ask you something simple. If the AP reporter walked in and said, I'm going to call it the United States of crap,